Good evening, everybody. Just getting a little adjustments here. A little bit later than usual. We were going to get on it directly at 11. Good evening, everybody. This is CmdrAleon, the man from Mars, host of Encounters. Let's talk about UFOs, ET visitations, and disclosure. I think one of the next times I'm going to put down contact. Debbie Hayek, good to see you. And welcome to the show. Michael, welcome to the show. Good evening. Anthony Warren, welcome to Encounters, show 2500. Marinay, one of my moderators, welcome. I am Heather, welcome. Good to see you. Rachel, Ann, good to see you. Hello, good evening. Dewan Ledbetter, Jenny, everybody coming here. Judy Bowman, 695. Hello, Ann. Hello, Darren Richland. Good evening. Let's see. Addie Mack, welcome. Alan, welcome to the show. And everyone liking, please share and like, please tap right away. Jeremy, welcome. Larry, welcome. Marinay, welcome again. Rob W. Cat Mama, thank you for liking the show. Patty 50. Anna B 21. Ghost. Cat Mama, thanks for the likes. Everybody, please everybody start tapping. We want to get up to 50,000 likes. And if you're not following me while you're liking me, please press your follow button so you can follow me and I can follow you. Hi there, Gummy Granny 7. Good evening. Hello, everybody. Anthony Warren. Good evening, everybody, coming on for the late night edition of Encounters. Angel Heart, I like that. Welcome, Anna. Thank you for the teddy bear. You're the first gifter of the show tonight. Thank you. Chris Warren, thank you. Chris Warren 5, thank you for the share. You know, as well as if everyone knows 5 or 10 other people that are open and ready for cosmic truth and are interested in the subject, invite them. Maybe they're not sleeping yet, you know. Definitely. We have another person coming in here. He's coming out of the rabbit hole. He should be here. Chesno, my other person that is a moderator and also part of our Ashtar Command CE5 group, if we ever get some clear skies from the universe. Good evening, James. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Commanders Encounters.
And good evening, James. James is down in Florida in the U.S. He's my co-host, and a good one at that. And we're here live. It's about 11:15 Eastern. We'll be on here till towards 1 a.m. With a good fun-packed show. Well, not just fun-packed show, a really important show. I just posted the most amazing, if you zoom in on it, I posted it on TikTok a couple hours ago from outside of the Phoenix area, an armada of bluish colored spaceships. You know, some before you get official about it, technically UAPs, UFOs. But I might show that tonight. I have it on my YouTube channel. I just posted it on YouTube before coming on here. Another sighting in February of 2023 in Kent, England, which is near an Air Force base or a military base. There was an armada of 4 goldish type craft that was videotaped, and it's beautiful. One of them goes out, another one just comes popping into the frequency. So I've got a couple of new videos. I'm really getting stuff coming in now. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going out there. The one in Arizona that happened October 7th was around 8 o'clock or 8:15 in the evening. And, from where they video recorded it, I'm probably sure in some area or neighborhood in Phoenix, there was they zoomed in on it and you can see all these blinking bluish colored lights, you know. So we'll probably try to show that to you tonight, right here on Encounters, maybe 1 or 2 of the newest, spaceship videos that are being recorded all over the place. And we'll get into that. Province 0319, welcome to the show. Please, CC, good to see you. Thanks for the likes.
Commander.
Yeah.
I saw a video out of Japan from the UFO mania.
Yeah.
And, boy, let me tell you what.
Are you still there? I just think we lost the audio of my co-host. He said he saw a UFO.
Walking towards a craft, and the craft is huge, maybe 100 meters wide in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect circle.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking up to it. There's light coming out from underneath the craft. And as he's walking up, you can see this craft slowly rotating. You can see antennas sticking, not like antenna, but like something sticking out with a light at the end of it, and it was just
Yeah.
turning so smoothly. There was no CGI scrub. There was no motion blur. I mean, this thing was in 4K. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh, did he have posted on his
Yes,
TikTok area,
yes, he
or
posted
where
it
did
on
he
his TikTok. Yes,
really? I'll have to look at it before they possibly take it down. So there's a video of, is it him walking
I
towards the
believe
craft, or is someone else doing it?
it's somebody. It's not like a backwards facing video. Like the video is they're just a camera facing the craft, and you could see somebody walking through a field, and it's like in the middle
Really?
of nowhere.
You can see a clear video of this, correct?
Super clear. And it like what makes it so realistic looking is the light shading. Like you could see the sun behind it, but you could see the craft causing a shadow, but you could also see
Hmm.
like the rays of sun shooting through these pieces of the craft that were like coming down, like blocking the sun, and
Yeah.
then the light coming out of the bottom of the craft was illuminated as well.
Wow. The commander will have to look at that and then possibly put it on Astro Command Spaceship News and
You know what you
possibly
think?
put it on
Like I
YouTube.
said, if he didn't, if this thing was faked,
Trisha, thank
then
you.
then it must have been like Peter Jackson or Steven Spielberg or one of those guys, because
Yeah.
this was not a cheap made video. If it was fake, it was super real. But
Yeah. It's
all of his
yeah.
videos look very authentic.
Yeah. No, I believe I mean, I read their energy when they speak Japanese. They don't speak English, but I'm absolutely certain that's why I wanted to bring them on live, because I believe they have connections with a lot of stuff going on. And, I can't wait to look at some of
Yeah,
their videos.
I reached out to Kasumi today again. I don't know if I'm just missing her because of the time zone
Hmm.
difference or what, but I did message her again because I would love to have her on because she can go live video and audio. And I
Yeah.
believe he has enough followers too, and then maybe we can get a
Oh, he does. Yeah.
translation going.
We need to get a translation. Billy Adams, thank you for the gifts. Everybody who's gifting, thank you, Billy Adams, for the cat paws, the lightning bolt. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, and the roses too. So this is what's happening here. We don't know half of what's going on in places like Japan, but they've had a lot of. Japan is very hot right now with incredible amount of, if you want to take the traditional official things, they want to call them UAPs or UFOs, but we're talking about basically spaceships. So let's just get rid of the formalities here. We're talking about spaceships. Why can't we just say it? Why do we have to call them UFOs or UAPs or this or that when what they are spaceships? Different types of spaceships, starships, even. Yeah, CC, you're right. Starships. Well, those are really big. Those are in our outer atmosphere, but they're big spaceships, starships, motherships. Those are in the outer atmosphere, and those are very big. And we'll be actually seeing those as we get close to contact. We'll be seeing spaceships. I can use any one of the official terms that the governments have come out with, but I don't think I would rather just say spaceships, because if they can't identify it, it's not ours. At that point, it's from somewhere else, and therefore spaceships. Yes, I've seen spaceships. Let me see who this is. Oh, this is Shadow Park. Shadow Park. Well, I wish you had more followers, man. Yeah, you got 55.3. We gotta get Shadow Park up to 200 for audio. I have actually friended Shadow Park, so
Did
everyone
you just
friend
say he
Shadow
had
Park.
55.3 followers?
54 point. Oh, no, actually, maybe you can come. What am I talking? He has 55,000. Ah, I'm
I'm like,
sorry, man.
what,
I'm just
what
like,
is,
wait a minute.
what is
Where's my head
Commander
at? You
talking
know?
about?
No, we're gonna bring them on. And yeah, they can come on. Turn your camera on too when you come on to show people. Unless you don't have camera ability, turn on your camera so we don't just see a photo. I'm trying to get more and more into people, especially when I'm sharing this on YouTube. Unless you don't have, I mean, the only time we can't do that is someone who has 200 followers. They have 55,000. So Shadow, can you bring on your camera and we can get to see who we're talking to?
Commander, I actually dropped my phone. The
Oh,
camera does not work. I actually, if
oh,
you can go on my profile, you can see what I look like because I actually record my videos
oh,
with another camera.
no
I actually
problem.
use another camera.
It happens. Well, hopefully you'll get that camera refixed or whatever you need to do at some point in your time. But I'm glad you're on here. Tell us where you are. What part of the country?
I'm in rural Pennsylvania, right next to the Amish.
Oh, okay, this is interesting. So you're in rural Pennsylvania. I've been to the Amish country in the '60s when I was a kid. So yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about seeing these UFOs or spaceships. How long has it been going on for?
I
And what's been happening?
I actually came on here. Might have been a week ago, 2 weeks ago, but I actually received, well, a month ago, I received three cats. One of them went missing when an
Oh, that's
individual
right.
showed up.
You're the one with the
Yeah,
cats and the
yeah,
Wait,
contact.
did you
yeah.
change your
Well,
profile?
the cat came back. The
Wait
What?
a
cat,
minute.
yeah, the
I
missing cat came back.
remember.
The missing cat came back. It was a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, actually. I was looking up. It was raining, and I went outside, and it just happened to be like just the perfect moment to look at the stars right through the clouds. And in that moment, there was a fleet of stars in in line, like a
Hmm.
perfect line
Hmm.
that flew by me. It was one star, two star, like a flying star, 3 star, 4 star. Once it got to the 6 star, I ran inside and told my brother, "Come out here," because no one believes in UFOs except for me. I said, "Come out here. There is UFOs outside. You can see them
Mm.
with your naked eye. You don't need
Wow.
telescopes. You don't need, third grade infrared goggles. Like you can see them." We came
Yeah.
outside. My brother saw him. There was a fleet. After that, I seen six of them. There was seven, eight, nine, 10 in a line. They were all following each other in
And
a
it
line.
wasn't
Right. That
Starlink,
wasn't.
right?
That wasn't. You're sure that wasn't the SpaceX or whatever they call that thing,
Starlink.
Starlink?
No, no, no. Starlink does not follow each other in a line for 19 consecutive times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it looks like. Starlink is about 20 Starlinks, and it is a perfect line, and they're
Yeah.
right after each other, moving symmetrically.
Yeah.
Where are they moving each other in the sky?
Well, they can
Well,
move it whatever
that's what I'm
way
saying. Was it in the sky or was it in the atmosphere, like
yeah.
above?
It was
Because
above. It was above.
if it was in the sky, it was definitely a UFO.
Yeah.
It was in the sky. It looked like these things. Okay, so what I'm saying is, once I saw these six objects come in a line, I saw six
Hmm.
bright objects in the sky. They
Hmm.
followed each other in a linear pattern. Okay, I went in, grabbed my brother. He came out here. We seen multiple objects follow that linear pattern,
Hmm.
Oh
and
wow!
then and so after that, my brother went inside. He's watching his TV show. I'm waiting outside, waiting for something to happen. just like
Yeah.
Commander told me. Because Commander told me they're coming
Yeah,
back.
Yes. Yes.
that was
I
it.
did.
Yeah, because you would have been able to tell if it was Starlink, because Starlink's in space.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't see in space. I'm looking. I'm not using a telescope, brother. I'm using my naked eye.
You're
I'm
Damn.
using
using
your naked
my
eye. Yeah.
eyeball. I'm using my eyeballs. I can't see
So
into
after
space.
you saw it, did the cat showed up?
Well, no, no. Here's the thing. And this seemed like a dream. This seemed like I was out of my body.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard a cat meowing. I went to the front of my house. I live in rural Pennsylvania. When I go to the front of my house, don't
Yeah.
think there's like neighbors beside me. I'm still
You're in the
alone.
woods. I remember that. Yeah.
So when I go to my front of my house, I'm still alone. I'm the only house that I'm seeing. I'm only looking at woods out here. So when I go to the front, I hear a cat meowing. I'm following the cat meows. And this is going to sound like science fiction. And I know I told you I'm a science fiction author, and I know I told you
That's right. That's right.
that
No, that's okay.
see, this is all supposed to go in the story. This is what it everything I experience is supposed to go in the story, and I keep telling people I think a lot of these things that were written in science fiction, they might have some sort of basis
I've always
in,
thought that.
Yeah.
I've
you know
always
what.
thought that. I've always thought that they got to have some type of connection to have some type of knowledge of what's really going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to do one story at a time tonight just so we can get a full story from one person. I see a request for guests. We'll take one person at a time. We'll get to everybody. So you're on the
Oh,
guest list as ever wanting to be a guest, but we'll have each person on one at a time. Go ahead.
go,
Now,
go
so
ahead, brother.
I go ahead.
Bring me down. You can bring another person up because I'm
No, no,
actually
no, no,
No, no, no,
no.
no, no.
I
I
want to
want you
hear
to
how the
tell the
cat. Well,
story.
we didn't get to hear how the cat came back.
We haven't gotten to the story yet of what happened.
Yeah, your out of body experience.
brother. I got a pot roast. I'm in the basement. I got a
Oh,
pot roasting up.
oh, he's
You
got to go
do?
eat. Oh, he's got to
Okay.
go eat.
I'll
I'll
go
be
eat,
right
go
back.
eat, and we'll bring
I'll
you
be
back.
right
All
back,
right.
brother.
All
All
right.
right, yeah, no, yeah, take your time, but thank you for definitely sharing.
We got more coming from him after he's done eating. So let me
Gotta
take.
get that pot roast, man. You can't sit on a pot roast. You got to eat it when it's strike it when it's hot.
Okay, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring everyone on one at a time. This way we can really get into it, and then we'll really focus on that one person. I'll bring Grace on for our spiritual advisor. Garth, good to have you with us. If you watch
Garrett,
Queen of the Night, you will see a lot of UFOs.
Yeah,
Garrett,
yeah. If you
hey, good
go
to
on
have you with us.
Facebook, yeah, go on Facebook, watch. She's on nearly most nights. She looks at the moon, and she's got this high-powered telescope, yeah. And she goes on like most nights, and I tell you what, we have seen a lot of freaky stuff. Not like passing the moon and that, and doing like zigzags. Like, it's
wow,
going one way, then it goes the next way. Uh, not like a triangle. Like, it, it, if you go onto it on Facebook, you see a lot of content. Or even when she's not on, just look at the content, what she's got up there.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was watching live, and she was looking at the moon, and I
Mm-hmm.
swear there was about 5 UFOs what went by while we was all watching. And
whoa,
I'll
Hmm.
tell you what, and you do see it a lot. She's been banned a few times on Facebook for it. She got banned. I tell you what they banned her for. She had this like relaxing music in the background, yeah? And they were banning her for a little silly thing like that. Oh, copyright, you've got this music in background, we're banning you for
Oh yeah,
6 months.
oh, they'll
It was
get you.
just, yeah,
yeah,
They will get you.
she was putting a lot of, she was putting a lot of content up. She still is, and they keep banning her, like, no knocking her off Facebook for so, because they can
yeah.
ban you for so long, can't they? It's because when there's something happening, I think that's when they're banning her. No, because part of the government, they're all mixed up in this, aren't they? It's, I think, I said 2026, it'll all come out.
Well, that's the year when the end of 2026 that we're going to start seeing direct contact, and then to 2027. But I think the timeline is speeding up now. I think that's actually changed from when the beginning of the year of last year, or the end of last year, a number of my contacts, and I was getting this before I asked anybody else that I basically trust about 2027, and I was getting that. Now the timeline I think is way soon. When you start watching some of the new footage people are recording, like in outside of Phoenix on October 7th at 8:15 or something in the evening, you're going to see a ton of these bluish craft, an armada of them. They zoomed in as best they could. You can see them. They're blinking, and they're not a conventional aircraft. That's the radiant energy from each individual craft, and you can see them just like in a group, just like doing incredible things from what you can see. And it's just, there's not one person that can look at that video when they see it and say, oh, I'm going to show that video tonight on the show here. I'm showing you two, one from February of 2023. I'm showing you in the newest spaceship video that is October 7th of 2023. And I'll be showing that in a little bit. We're going to see together, I'm going to show everybody who hasn't seen it on the big screen, a armada of these ships. They're bluish in color. We'll bring the camera as close as I can so you can see them. And, every day or two, I'm finding and seeing new footage from all over the place. And I weed out a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff with the Starlink or the Falcon thing that went off the other night, and a lot of people were seeing what they thought was something, which is really the space launch of the rocket, and they were mistaking it for something that was not of this world, and it wasn't. So that's where I'm good at this stuff, because if I see 10 or 15 of those same things, and they were prevalent in 2 or 3 different states, that's what they were seeing. It wasn't like some extraterrestrial activity. When the extraterrestrial activity is shown, the video in Phoenix, the one in England, in Kent,
The
England,
Phoenix
these
Lights
are,
and that.
say again?
You heard about the Phoenix Lights?
Yes, I know
What?
about the Phoenix
Yeah.
Lights, yes.
Yeah, no, I thought you were saying that about the
Oh
Phoenix and the
no, there
one
was
in
a
England,
recent
right?
one.
I'm
There was
talking
a
about brand
recent
new.
one.
I'm talking about a brand new sighting. I'm going to show it on the show here tonight. You're going to see
Oh,
something. If you watch it carefully, you're going to see these blinking bluish lights that are almost not together. They're in various patterns, and they're like probably at a very high area outside of the Phoenix area. Phoenix is surrounded by some mountains, so but you'll see them. And when I show it tonight, I think it's going to blow people away. I've been really trying to get these videos posted on my YouTube channel, because that's my Astro Command Spaceship News channel. I'm going to show people on the YouTube channel I have through here some of these things that I'm putting over there. Not only our encounter show, the encounter shows are recorded, folks, and we put it on YouTube, but I'm going to show you the UFO footage that I'm looking at and putting on there. Once I am confident that these things are totally not conventional aircraft, I will post them. I have a knack for it. I've been doing CU5 for a number of years. So even on video footage, I can tell you if I don't have clear footage, even if it is real, but it's not clear, I can't post it, because you can't really tell what it is,
yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, but and so those are the things we're talking about. We're going to
I
bring on
think,
another guest. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, I think in 2026, I think we're going to see a lot, and I think in 2027, I think the government's going to have to accept it. I think, I think
Well,
that's where you're
they'll
going.
have
I think,
they'll have
but
to accept it.
like
Yeah,
you
they'll
said,
have to,
the
because
little blue,
yeah,
blue ships and that, they'll be coming in like the formations, like you said, and I think it's going to be that impossible not to say what is happening, you know.
yeah.
The only thing what scares me is what is the big line of the secrecy?
So it's been 70 years of secrecy. I don't know what year you were born, but I know as a kid growing up, there's been secrecy before I knew, and I was, educated enough and old enough from being a kid to understand what these things were. There's been secrecy for over 70 years all over the world, basically, whether it be the Ministry of Defense in England, the DoD in the United States, Canada, whatever. Many governments, some have been more secretive than others. Mexico would be the opposite of being secretive. I think Mexico is more open
Yeah, they
across the
are.
border about the ETs than we are in the United States or other countries are. Um, people are very open. There've always been a lot of sightings in the regions, Mexico City. And Mexico City is built over an ancient city. Before there was a Mexico City, there was another ancient city beneath what is called Mexico City. Mexico City has no information. Mexico City, if you look at the historical things, look at the pyramids, all those
America
things,
do got quite
you
a
know,
bit of information, I
yeah,
think.
there's information in Mexico.
Yeah,
The
a
Mexican
lot of
Air Force,
information.
the Mexican
They
Air
like
Force has been
they
more
are
open
more
than we
open.
have,
Yeah, a lot more open. And
you know,
like Americans, they don't like it, do they? Like it's like the government, American government. They're like, "Whoa, what you doing and what you saying?" kind of thing.
right.
Like to Americans, Mexicans, because Mexicans want to open it up, don't they? More than
It's just that it's a much more open. I mean, I've been around a long time before some of you were born, but what I do know is since the inception of YouTube and whatever, it just appears to be that the Mexican government is more open. Now, are there things they're not telling their own people? Probably, just like any other country, but they have been seamlessly more open with their information. There are if you look at some video footage from the Mexican Air Force, similar to things that the DoD released of the UAPs, they were ahead of at the time releasing videos from Mexico to the public that shows the Mexican Air Force monitoring UAPs in their airspace. That's been going on for a number. You can find those videos released on YouTube. But so that's been going on for a long time. I think that what we're seeing released here in the United States by the Department of Defense is kind of limited. And I've been to that website for the UFOs for the DoD website. I've not seen any new footage released. Now, I can't believe that if you go to that website, that's the only footage that exists. I can't believe it. There's got to
have you
be
seen,
stuff they're not showing us that they have hidden in their vaults that they haven't shown us yet. I'm at that point where I do believe that to be true.
do you remember the film? Was it Fifth Kind?
Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. You're talking about the
No, no,
film?
no. It was one with what was in Alaska. That's Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind, wasn't it? But I think it was just called Fifth Kind, and it was
Alaska?
it was a real true
Oh, the
story.
fourth
It was
kind.
proper footage.
It was called the fourth kind. It's
Yeah,
based off of
That's
a
it.
true story.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. A doctor. What was it now? I can't remember the name, but they had real footage on that, and every time something would intervene with them, it actually took them. They had footage where it took them, or maybe that if that didn't happen, that was a big disinformation. I don't
Yeah.
Oh,
know.
she was a psychologist. Her name was
Yeah,
Dr. Abby Tyler.
Yep.
she ended up
Yep.
in she lost she ended up paralyzed, didn't she, from her
Yep.
neck down? Like,
From an incident that happened with an ET.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Um,
The last time she got took, the to up to the story, the last time she got took, she come back paralyzed, didn't she? And the
yep.
copper and the other guy what got took still is protesting now, isn't he? But
Hmm.
one of the coppers I think they scared him because he said nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
But there was
Well, that
actually,
happened, you know.
yeah,
The
that,
thing is, people have to know something about Alaska. I had actually had a guest on from Alaska. She had contact with very high level spiritual beings. This was months ago. I have the recording somewhere. I don't know if I was starting to post my shows from TikTok to YouTube then, but I do have a show where this person in Alaska was having contact with spiritual beings. Alaska has a thing where there's like the Bermuda Triangle. There's called the Alaska Triangle. I don't know if
yeah,
anyone's heard about it, the Alaskan Triangle. So it's
yeah,
basically a cosmic doorway where a lot of these different types of intergalactic space people come through into Alaska. There's a major opening there. Just like Bermuda Triangle, you have the Alaskan Triangle, you have another triangle in the China Sea, which people might not know about, but that exists.
there's
Yeah,
one
there are
near,
these triangles all over the place.
is the one near, oh God, I was watching a program, it was actually, I'm on a website, not a Stephen Greer website on Facebook. And if you go onto his website, you can watch all the CS5s, what he's done.
Mm,
He's got quite a few, and they're like 2 hours long, and they're brilliant.
mm,
It is right in a way, because it is, I think the big secret is control. Control of us to be the slave to drive the machine. And I
mm.
think we shouldn't be living like that.
No.
We should, money, it's crazy. Money is the root. I think well, obviously it is the root of all evil, but we shouldn't have a currency. I don't think. Do
Yeah.
you think we should, like all these people, like footballers, what they're getting, they shouldn't be getting that, should they, really?
Mm,
There's hard-working people who do more work and get less. And then there's footballers go out and do something they love and they are crazy.
well, the thing is, once we have contact, all the things we talk about here on the UFO subject, we look at how we live and how our galactic family lives. It's way different. I've talked about that many times, how the ones that are coming to Earth, that will be coming to Earth in more massive forms, that our space brothers and sisters don't have, they don't have the way things are set up on Earth. It's a whole different way of living, a whole different way of life. Yeah. And once we know the dynamics of learning that way, the way we've lived will be kind of historic, like down in the history books of Earth progression. The progression of us being, we used to go to the supermarket, we went on we went to that place or whatever. Once we have that physical contact and reunification with the spiritual beings, the space sisters and brothers from the other planets, the galactic family, so to speak, we're not going to be going in shopping malls anymore. We're not going to be rushing to Black Friday at Walmart or whatever. The way they live, they don't have all this stuff that we look at as being important, or why aren't we having more of what we don't have? Those things from their perspective are just from a 3D world that we've been living in. But in their worlds, they don't have that. None of that exists.
No, that's what I mean. Is the like you said, like they're that advanced, like we can't even comprehend what they think. Can you imagine if they're like millennia older, like even more than millennia older than us, the
Right.
advances they've got? It's like they say, "Oh, how did they get the person from that room to that ship?"
Hmm.
But you've got to
Now,
realize what they've got.
yeah,
Walls,
you know,
windows, and that
yeah.
don't. It's not
And
like
what?
gone.
No, I understand that. A big girl
Yeah,
storm. Thank you for the roses. We need to realize that we need to keep our consciousness on a much higher level now, especially now. We shouldn't think about, well, I didn't make as much money as the other person. I don't want to get, I really am trying, I'm going to try to keep myself from waving down into that road, because I think we don't have to think about that. I think we need to stay focused in our consciousness about, well, my neighbor has a bigger house than I do. That's all part of the 3D thing. When we think about how beautiful it will be once we make reconnections and recontact with what we call star family, all these things will be useless to us. And when we talk about planetary systems, all planets that are planets, whatever their name of the planet is, are one planet with uh, many, many beings on whatever their civilization is. And I was told by my dear friend Ashtar Athena that we're at the level of the Ashtar Command, the level of where they're at, by thought. They can create anything they want by thought. If they want to create, something like something beautiful, they can create it by thought. We on Earth haven't attained that consciousness yet to create things by thought. So when I say that, could you imagine sitting here and you want to have create something to eat? You just think of it by thought and it's there. People
There's
say, well, how can
something.
I do that? How is that possible? When you're at the level of consciousness, and we still have a ways to go a little bit, but when you're at that level where they are, at that structural level of consciousness, there's no question what you can create. At
I
that
have.
point, you can create anything, most and everything. When I say anything, all in the positive, no negative, because you're not operating in the 3D consciousness where you're creating ideas of doing negative things. You're now at a consciousness that's very highly spiritual where they are, and you can now create and manifest in your thoughts what you wish to create. Like if you want to wear some really weird looking clothing, you create it by thought. You don't even have to, buy the clothing. You just create it by thought. Right.
Yeah,
Visualization.
I'll be honest now, yeah. I think I've told you before, yeah. I have been took, yeah. And if you, right, think of this, right. I don't know how I knew, yeah. But I got took and they took me everywhere all over the world, yeah. Just to prove to me, like, they're real. And this is true, I'm not lying. 1 minute I was in India. I was sat in my dad's living room when this happened, yeah. 1 minute they took me, but they didn't take me as a being, they took me astrally to India. And I thought, this, uh, it's like, think of, right, I don't know how to explain this. Think of your memory as a computer and your soul
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. Soul is like a computer thing. It's like they took that part of me, like I said, like we have to evolve to that projection of thought of what they think. They actually helped me. They transported me all over the world to prove who they was. I don't exactly know who they are, but the transport. Next 1 minute I was in India, next minute I was in Thailand, next minute I was on Wall of China in
Mm-hmm.
astral form, and I was when I was in the streets of India, right, it was like I was seeing everyone walking past, and it was like, do you know what? I can't even. It sounds weird how I'm trying to explain this, but it's like I can't comprehend how, if you know what I mean, how it happened, how I travelled, and it wasn't. it wasn't like they took my body though.
Mm-hmm.
They took my consciousness.
They took your. You're saying they took your when you were on this ship with these ETs. You're saying they did something to your consciousness.
Yeah. And I knew where I was, every part, because there was like coming through my consciousness, telling me where I was.
Yeah.
Like it was like not actually telling me. It's I automatically knew because they let me know. If you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
It uh, it is very very. I think this has happened to me all my life. When I was a kid, it used to be like I was going in a tunnel. But as a kid, I'll be honest, I was really scared. When it happened, when they used to take me like that, I used to be really right. It used to be alright. I'd be going down this like kind of tunnel, like a bit like I'd say like a wormhole kind of, but not. I
Mm-hmm.
can't explain. But then a danger would come, and I'd feel this dangerous thing, like because they're not all nice, yeah. And I experienced a bad
Mm-hmm.
entity, if you know what I mean, how they like how they work. And as I've got older, it's got we are being we are being looked after at the minute by about 6 civilizations, and there's a couple civilizations what want to be gone with us because what we are doing to this planet. But we are being, like I said, we are being protected. There's, there is a few what do want to. I think this is what the secrecy is. The bad ones, because they are strong and they are dangerous.
Well, you know what? The only danger is the secrecy by those for 70 years in different governments. That's really the danger. The danger isn't the extraterrestrial, although there are percentages, a small, very small percentage of
Yeah, there
ETs
is, yeah.
that that are not necessarily here for the right purposes. But that's again, but the majority of the space
Yeah.
beings are
Oh,
here to
looking
assist
after it.
us.
Yeah, they are. They're trying to bring us
So
forward,
you know
but
what? We're gonna hold off there.
yeah,
And I'm trying to do individually one person at a time.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to thank you for sharing some of your because you've had some stories, sharing some of your stories, and I want to make sure I can get as many of the people on here that are waiting to share their stories as well. Hey, I thank you. Keep watching our show, and it's always good to hear from you when you share a story with us from where you are about your experiences. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
I
take
Thank
care
will.
now.
you. Thank
I'll see
you.
you later. I'll still
Yes,
stay
most
on
definitely.
though.
Yeah, stay on with us. Yes.
Yeah, I will do.
Okay, so I want to, being that we're doing one guest at a time tonight, just so we get everybody's story. If have a story, a UFO sighting or seeing visitations with ETs, we want to hear those stories. I'm going to try to get us, I'm trying to be as focused, as a laser point focused on the subject. So, yeah, I mean, if you've had any encounters, you have 200 plus followers. The good news is now you have 200 plus followers, you can come on the show. So you can, it's just audio. At least now you get to come on live. So if you have 200 plus followers, you now can on TikTok go on live with audio on the show. If you have near 1,000, I think you can come on both audio and with your camera. So if you come on here, if you can learn how to turn on the camera with 1,000 plus, we'd like to have that as well. And so please welcome to the show, everybody. This is the late night edition, as always, of Encounters. We'll be on till about 1 a.m. So this is truly late night. And, so I'm very interested in new people coming on here because I always like to keep it flowing in a beautiful way where we can hear everybody's stories. Don't be shy if you've never been on here before. Other people will tell you if you've been on, they've told their stories. So, if you'd like to share your story, all you got to do is see the little icon that says guests at the bottom of your TikTok screen, the two little people. You press that, and we'll know if you have over 200. Just press that, and we'll get you on the air. Tell us what you want to talk about in the comments section of our TV show here, and we'll have you on. We're going to be showing some video footage in a little bit, probably towards near 12:30. We'll show you the latest footage from Phoenix, Arizona, that was recorded October the 7th around 8 o'clock in the evening, Phoenix time. Welcome, Sue. Everybody coming here, all the new people. Alana, Sunrise, Scott Hammond, thank you for coming in here. We appreciate everybody, all the likes. We want to get to 50,000 likes here by actually 1 o'clock in the morning. I think we can do it. And also, I gotta drink some more of my apple cider because I'm losing my voice.
Oh, that's no good.
I'm not really losing it. I had a frog in my throat, so I just threw it out. It just jumped right out, so I got rid of it. Just kidding. But so we just want to hear your stories. If you'd like to come on, I always tell people, my story is I came out of the closet years ago, being from Mars. I'm a contactee with the Ashtar Galactic Command before there was internet. I worked in Christ consciousness always. And one thing about me is my spirit is so strong, nothing can bust it. And if you watch this show, you know that to be true. I don't watch much of anything. I don't look at much of internet websites. The only thing I do look at
Excuse me.
is
Ooh.
UFO videos. God bless you. Look at UFO footage or ET footage that people send me from wherever they are that they've actually had encounters with, recorded. And then I do that. But other than that, I don't care about people's, agendas or whatever on the internet with their websites. I keep my consciousness clear, and my information is my own, and the information I get directly from the command is direct. And I can usually answer people's questions. I also am able to, I don't know if it's a psychic ability, but I have the ability to, when people tell me their stories, I've done this numerous times, told people that, I get a feeling of who they are, what the being is, and I've told them straight out in the show what it is. It's just something that's activated in my consciousness, so I'm able to do that. Welcome, Garrett, to Encounters. Everybody
Welcome.
meows are welcome to Encounters. So I got to believe with 113 people in here that there's some new folks in here with 200 plus followers that you can actually have a story to tell regarding visitations. So I'd love to hear visitation stories if you've been visited by space people, had been taken on a ship, or you remember anything, anything like that. We certainly want to know about it, Pihazi something, welcome to the show. I would love to see the video from the insider who came on. Yeah, so we're going to see here if we have any takers. Okay, we're going to start with Scott Hammond and then Savard Almighty. I'm going to do one at a time, so this way people will be able to get the full story from everybody, questions people have. And Scott Hammond,
sorry.
no, glad to have you with us, man. You've been coming in for
Uh,
a long time. Glad to have you with us.
sorry. Oh shit.
What?
Oh
Wait a
shit.
minute.
What the heck? What the heck what happened
What was that?
there?
I'm
Poor
not
guy
sure.
dropped his phone.
I don't know what happened there.
Susan,
I
yes,
guess
you can ask a question, Susan.
no cussing. That's the one thing. We don't want any cursing on the show.
Remember, Shy is the only one allowed to curse on the show.
And he's just kidding. And so I'm going to I want to really make it clear, because it's TikTok, and I don't want to have my show lost in the sauce, so to speak. I've heard of what's happened to other people. I'm very wanting to keep this at a very high quality show, as always. So, if you're going to come on, that's all right, Scott. Something happened there. I don't know if you dropped your phone or you didn't know what was happening. Did you want to come on, or were you just having something happen at the moment when I put you right on the
Yeah,
thing here?
he might have accidentally hit the come up
Yeah.
button.
See, your inner spirit guides you to come up, and but if you have an encounter, Scott, if you've had any UFO sightings, let us know in the comment section. I think something had happened when I pressed that button. You weren't aware or prepared to come on live. Maybe
Good
that
thing
was
his
it.
camera wasn't on. It sounded like he was in the potty.
And who knows? But so we're going to bring on our next guest, and we're going to bring Almighty on and focus on Almighty for a couple minutes. He got taken. Hey, Almighty, good evening. Welcome to Encounters. Are you there? Am I taking people by surprise
Hey, can
here?
you guys
What?
hear me?
Yeah. You hear
Hey
you
guys,
and the
I'm
dog in
sorry.
the background.
I was actually expecting that other guy to speak first. So like I actually just started eating breakfast. I was expecting to
Oh,
like
okay.
talk in like
That's
five
right. You're in
minutes.
Thailand, so you're eating breakfast.
Yeah, like I really yeah, I'm in Thailand. So it's like 9 in the morning out. It's actually 11 in the morning out here. I was
Yeah,
expecting that other guy to talk first, so I literally just started eating and then you brought me on.
that's all right. I thought he was going to
Get,
talk too. I think he dropped his phone or some weird thing happened.
yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but can you guys give me like 5 minutes and then I can speak if that's okay with you?
Yeah, just come back up, man. We'll have you back on.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys.
All right. Enjoy your breakfast out there for sure.
All right, we'll do.
Um,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we got the one guy eating pot roast. We got the other guy eating breakfast. Oh man, y'all are making me hungry now. Gotta go grab get some munchies.
you know what?
I always picture
I also have the ability
people
to take,
watching the show eating something.
I can bring anybody on here in the field of my vision here. And I might be doing that just now. Miss Kate 5D. I'm going to just be random here and take Miss Kate 5D and invite Miss Kate 5D on the show. So I have a list of people that are able to go live, and I just took one of them and just invited them.
Why
So we'll see
isn't
what.
Grace up here with us?
Oh, where is Grace? Is she here? We're going to get her on.
She's
We
here.
have to bring Grace on here too.
Whoa,
She's
look at
our
that picture.
spiritual advisor.
Look at that picture.
That picture looks great.
Good
Yeah, that is
morning.
awesome.
Hey, we have Grace. We have Miss Kate 5D. I love the picture. I always have when you come on here.
Hi, good morning. This is funny. I was just about to write something into the chat because I've always been curious about something. I have actually never had an encounter,
Okay.
but I remember Commander you saying a few weeks ago that they are watching us. They are making sure that we're okay here on Earth.
Yeah.
And I've been wondering if if that's so for Germany as well.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. In Germany, all the countries, they're watching the whole planet. Can you bring your camera on? Or do you have the
Hey,
ability to go on a live camera?
I wanted
I cannot right now. I'm getting ready for work. Actually, I'm in Germany,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm
That's right.
to
yeah.
It's different
Germany.
over there.
Hey, I wanted to tell you, a personal friend of mine who was in the military had an encounter on a military base, and it was him and about 50 other soldiers, both American and German, that saw this craft on the base.
Okay.
What year was that? What year was that?
That was probably back in the 80s.
In the 80s. Interesting. And Miss K, you've never had a sighting yet, but that doesn't mean you won't. But go ahead. I'm interested. Is the topic really big in Germany? Are a lot of people involved?
You know, I can't really tell because I'm usually more involved with the American groups. You know,
Okay.
so I'm not sure. Maybe I should follow more German
Well,
groups, but
I know there are people. I mean, I know that there are spiritual people that are cosmically spiritual, like just in the United States, that are involved on Facebook. I know a lot of people, some of them in our Ashtar groups on Facebook. I'm in 2 Ashtar groups there. And there's a lot of people that are in Germany involved in the spiritual aspects of our space brothers and sisters. They do exist, but that's all right. I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on here, so that's why there's a lot of gravitation by a lot of people towards looking at the United States and the people here like us and what we're doing and the various things that are happening here, which is understandable, you know. But yeah, in Germany, there's definitely activity. Even in C5, I would say if you download Dr. Stephen Greer's app, the C5 app, there are people that you'll connect with in Germany, and even some of the German people that come here from overseas on to my TikTok. But with
yeah,
C5 thing, you can make contact with people who are strangers that are interested in spiritual contact.
yeah.
And that's something I think I always tell all my viewers here to do that. It's like $10 US. You download it, and whether you have an iPhone or whether you have an Android phone, there's apps. The apps are made for both Android and iPhone.
I actually do have the app, and
They do.
I just have not really. I've been going through some stuff for the past year, so I haven't really
Yeah.
reached out to anyone, you know.
Okay.
So, but I do have the app. I definitely do have the app. Maybe I'm still a
So,
little bit, you know, I
It's
wouldn't say scared, but hesitant.
oh, don't be scared. Nothing to
You
be
know,
scared at. You know,
yeah,
there's a
Listen,
lot to be.
fear
Very beautiful
is
things will happen once you get together with people. It's nothing
hmm
to be scared of.
fear is your body's way of letting you know that whatever that it's real, because you only fear things that are real, right? We don't fear fake things. So that's the first step, is just, the fear is, okay, these beings are real. Now let me build up that confidence to say hello.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically that's it. You know,
yeah.
when you go to sleep at night, Miss Kate, you can actually project in your meditation before sleep. Thank you, Third Eye, for the high bear. You can actually ask for, you wish to connect with the Christed beings of light that you are connected to from whatever planetary world you're connected to. Obviously, you have an interest in the subject because you're not that regular, everyday person. You know, many of us who are, I work in a 3D job, but I also have my crystals in my cubicle,
hmm
and I put a protection around my energy field, but hey, that's my three. It's like Clark Kent and Superman. So look at yourself as Clark Kent and then Superman.
That's a
Right
Uh,
very good
now you're
comparison.
right now
I
you're
like that.
Superman.
right now you're Superman. So yeah, and when you look at that aspect of who you are, it's amazing. So like James is saying, there's nothing you need to fear. Once you get over the fear, what you're dealing with is, if you do the meditation, which I'm glad to tell you to do tonight, or when I know you're going to work, but before you go to sleep, focus on meditation. Focus on saying to yourself, I have nothing to fear. I want to finally find out who I'm connected with, but be very
hmm
specific. There's the most important thing is, or else cosmic jokers get in there and you don't know who you're dealing with. But if you say to yourself, I wish to connect with the star family I'm connected to, the Christed beings of light I am connected to only. And when you use the word only, the Christed beings of light, that's only who you're going to be connected with, because no cosmic joker can go through that veil, that energy field,
I know. Yeah,
that's
it's the
really important.
frequency that counts. Yes,
The
absolutely,
frequency.
100%. Yes.
And you have good frequency. I'm reading your energy already. You have the good frequency. Don't let fear get in the way of it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you'll definitely have some contacts. They're just waiting for you to make that contact. They're waiting for you to go forward with it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna let someone else speak, and I get ready for work.
Okay. Enjoy your day. I took you by surprise, but I like doing that. And you have a great day out there in Germany. Thank
Have
you
a
for
have
being
a good day at work.
Thank you very much. Bye bye, everyone.
here. Okay. Now we're going to see who my next person is
You're
here.
gonna bring back Almighty.
Well, that's
Almighty
sort of
goes first.
fun.
Or who
And
else
then
is
we have
on?
Skip the Grace, our spiritual advisor.
That's sort of fun that you're bringing in people at random.
Yeah, I'm doing it randomly, one at a time. I want everyone to not. If I bring everybody on at once, I feel like it'll somehow get out of control, where I
Yeah,
can't just do one person.
some control is a good idea. So,
Yeah.
Commander, I have something I came across that I wanted to mention. I watched a documentary last week, and it just dawned on me because you were talking earlier about it sparked my memory.
Hmm.
So anyhow, the Vatican, I think it was Pope Benedict. He actually announced to his followers, to the mass,
Yeah.
that we should be ready for contact, and that we should be inviting and welcoming in our space brothers and sisters. He used those exact words.
Wow, that is
When was
amazing.
this? When did this
Well,
happen?
Pope Benedict was, I don't remember the exact year, but I know he actually stepped down and Pope Francis took over. So
Okay.
it was in recent times. So I want to say probably 3 years.
3 years ago? Okay. I do remember something about that. Somebody from the Vatican had stated that the extraterrestrials were no threat. Now, that coming from the Vatican means, let's face it, the Vatican has their own telescopes. The Vatican, beyond having people go to church every day and praying, they are a lot of other things to the Vatican. They
Absolutely.
have people involved in the extraterrestrial area. They have a whole group of people, matter of fact, that are within the Vatican. And this person must have been part of that group. When a Vatican person of that high level says that the ETs or the extraterrestrials are no threat, you know, I mean, being honest,
It was very interesting too, exactly, because the other thing that he said, which I thought was extremely interesting, because this is a topic of interest of mine, as well as
Mhm.
paranormal.
Yeah.
He mentioned that they are not demonic,
Yeah.
which I
Coming from
thought,
the Vatican,
That's
that's a
really
big
good that
statement.
he did that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was very, very, it was wow, like kind of
Yeah.
blew me away.
You have these people with these extreme religions, and they've come on here since I've been on here every once in a while. We don't have much and too many more. We don't really have a lot of trolls here anymore. We have a well controlled TV show. My people who moderate for the most part are pretty good, and we don't have trolls coming here because they know if they come in here, the commander's going to wipe them out into space. So they don't come in here anymore. They go
I
to other
think it's the
places where
vibration of the room. I just don't
it's
think that,
yeah.
or if in case they do come in, they end up in the, on the live
They don't
chat,
want to
and
come
then
in messing with me.
and then
No,
we
no,
kind of
They
like
don't.
be very
work it
afraid.
out
Be
with
afraid.
They
them.
don't want none of this. I'm gonna hit them with the
Now with James,
chakra,
be
chakra,
very afraid.
chakra. I'm
I'm
gonna
But
I'm
telling
gonna
let's
give them a knuckle sandwich to realign their chakras.
yes, that's James. He's the cosmic bouncer on this show. Anybody gets out of hand here, he'll throw him right into space.
that is funny.
Send so many
That's
blessings
interesting
your
about the
way, you're gonna
Vatican.
cry. I'm gonna send so many blessings your way, you're gonna cry tears of joy.
He will. He'll do
Yeah,
that
and
to
I
you.
was thinking also today that we need to really connect with and educate ourselves, and raise not only, because I think a lot of people are stuck in this very similar
Hmm.
timeline with spirituality. So
Yeah.
we have to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's really
And
important. The spirit. Well, you just hit it right on the head, Grace. A lot of people are just waking up to these things, and if there's no spiritual connection to the space beings, that could be a problem because now they're waking up, but they don't know the connection. They don't know that there's something greater than just the connection of knowing there are other beings in space. So it's great to know there are other beings in space, but what's more important, I think, is for each individual watching this show and people in general around the world who aren't watching this show, that people need to find that connection. to the space beings. And so it's one thing to have like a UFO sighting. That's one level, but that's only the beginning. If you have a UFO sighting, oh, okay, that tells
I
you that
agree.
something's going
I
on. And
agree.
if you have a personal UFO sighting, which everybody here has something different, all their experiences and their stories are different. And I love that. I think there's different levels of consciousness within humanity. Almighty, I brought him back up here. I didn't want to make you eat quickly your breakfast. So if you want to come in here, go ahead.
Thank you, guys. And first of all, I want to say hello, Commander. Hello, Grace, and hello, James. It's good to see you all again, and it's good to speak with you all again. I'm glad to be here.
My son.
Good.
Welcome
Same here.
in.
Yes, something I wanted to address or maybe speak on, or I guess maybe even ask questions about, is here's how I feel. As humanity, we have passed step one, right? We know they're here, we know they exist, we know they're out there, we know they have these spacecrafts, we know they're doing whatever they're doing. So now it's time for step two. Is now it's time we maybe talk about, and up to you all, but in my opinion, maybe now it's time we talk about and discuss how they're doing everything they're doing, or maybe why they're doing everything they're doing. I think we all are beyond the point where we know that they're here, we know that they're doing whatever they're doing, but it's like, okay, how are they getting these spacecrafts in? How are they moving so fast? How are they traveling between stars? I think that's the more important discussion that we as humans need to have, that nobody's really having. And it's not seen anywhere on TikTok. If you follow any of the astrological pages or any of the astronomy pages or any of the UFO pages, everybody's talking about aliens exist. It's like, we all get that now. Like, everybody knows. But it's like, how are they getting here? How are they moving between stars? How are they doing the things they're doing? Like, I think we need to move on to step two of the discussion. Maybe it's just my opinion, but I think maybe me and James talked about this maybe earlier on the last live, maybe a couple days ago. And I asked if they are warping space time or are they moving faster than light speed travel. He said he believes that they're warping space time. I looked
Yeah.
into that a little bit. That appears to be somewhat true, but it's like, how are they doing this? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. The
I think this
hows
is a
are.
far more valuable discussion than the fact that they're here. You know?
Well, I think both are important. I think the fact that they're here is beyond the fact that they're traveling here. From if you like, you've heard people share their stories. They come in their houses, they just appear. Light beings appear in the room. So some of the beings don't need spaceships. They go so high up in consciousness beyond anything I know. I mean, I know about how it's done from their conscious level, but I think part of that is, how did they get here? I love that idea because, I'll throw in my 2 cents about that, and, other people can share. Skip, Grace, and, James can jump in on that too. From my Astro Command connection, they can just, if they wish to, they have very advanced spaceships that are beyond nuts and bolts ships that like we have in NASA, or some of the stuff that's reverse engineered. They have ships that can just form through consciousness. They can go through wormholes, which is a sense. If you look at like if you go into like when I used to live in Long Island, to go into New York City, you go under the Hudson River, under the Queens Tunnel. It'll take you under the river. I used to think as a kid, what happens when we go under that tunnel and the whole thing caves in and we get flooded out by the river? You know, I was always like fearful of that happening when I was a kid. Other than that, you got on the other side, you were in New York City. So what I'm saying is, that analogy is what I'm saying is, if you go over a bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, you're going from outside of San Francisco into the mountains or whatever. You go over the bridge, you're in San Francisco. So if we look at how the intergalactic traveling is, it's like a highway. And again, I'm going to put this theory out there because we're having a discussion for the moment about that. There's an intergalactic highway, and that's when all these different galactic beings come in their spaceships from wherever they come from. They're all going on that intergalactic highway. There's no stop signs. There's no stop signs at all. They come and they can also just blink out. When people see UFOs, for example, some of the best footage I've seen is, and the one from England, Kent, England, which I'll show on here tonight, shows that there's 4 golden lights. And as there's 4 of them. They come into view. One kind of just fades out. The other one comes back in. And that to me is beautiful. What that's showing is what they're showing the person that was video recording it, from my perception, is they can blink out of our dimension. So there are ships that are very highly, not the ships, but the beings that are very highly evolved in these types of ships, however they're operating, whether they're, totally not metallic, and some of them aren't. They're just coming into our, boom, there they are. There's like 5 of them. They're right there for about a half hour. Then one by one, they disappear. They just blink out. They don't travel somewhere. They just blink out of our frequency. So that's, for sake of just discussion, like you brought up the question, that's my theory about that. A little bit of it, anyway.
Well,
I
I'm going
get
to
it, but
bounce off of
I believe.
that for Almighty, how he was breaking it down to steps. And
Yeah.
the problem is we were already at step 2. The problem is we personally, we don't know and understand how that technology works, but the government does.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have it. Now, what Shai has told us is that
That's
they
my point.
can't master it because their vibrations are low.
Right.
And
And that's
these
my point.
crafts and this technology is not just physically a manifestation, there's also a spiritual essence to the technology.
Right.
And a telepathical essence. That's why the government tries to recruit and solicit people that have ascended their vibrations, because now they can go into a government project and they could do things where that scientists couldn't do.
Right.
So they know the technology, they just haven't released it to the public.
Right.
I
And
think
that's my point. I think if like Commander just said, he said they have sort of like an intergalactic highway, and they can travel, just like we travel across the bridge, the San Francisco Bridge or the New York Tunnel or whatever. He said they have an intergalactic highway, and they can
right.
travel to and from here. So if it means that they can get here, that also simultaneously means that it's physically possible for us to get there. And like
Absolutely.
rabbit hole, and
Absolutely.
like
That's right.
rabbit hole just said, and like the rabbit hole just said, the government has the technology, but they either don't understand it or they can't use it because they don't have the vibrations, or they're
Right.
not high enough in their
Yeah,
understanding
That's
to
right.
figure it
I
out.
don't believe they've even come close to the portal technology at all. But, as what happened in mid-September, they tested a craft that went from Earth to Jupiter and back in 25
I was
minutes.
just going to say that. Yeah.
Nice.
So, I mean, we
25 minutes. What
know.
is that? Is that like that's like 10 times the speed of light? Maybe more. Maybe 100 times the speed of light. I think it
Oh,
takes
yeah.
light from the sun like
I don't
10
know. Here,
hours to
They
get
let's
had
to us.
Google. Let's Google how far is Jupiter from Earth.
and while he's Googling
Yeah,
it,
I think it takes light from the sun like 12 hours to get to Jupiter. So if they made it in 25 minutes, they're
yeah.
going
Yeah,
faster than the speed of
that's
light.
amazing.
Our contact, Shai, it was maybe about a month ago this happened. She told us right straight out. Nobody knows about it on major media because they weren't privy to the information. We were, thank goodness, that they had an Air Force pilot. They must have trained him. Excuse me for the coughing here. I don't have a cold or anything, but they must have trained him. He volunteered to do the thing, and 25 minutes round trip, 176,000 miles to
No,
Jupiter. Or what was it exactly?
Wait,
hold on.
25 minutes round trip. That means it was
I'm gonna
12 minutes
do.
to Jupiter and
Yeah,
12
I'm
minutes
gonna
25
back.
minutes
do
round trip.
the.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
gonna do the math because light travels at 186 miles per second.
186,000 miles.
Right, per second, and Jupiter is 365 million miles away.
So first, convert the per second into per minute. So if it's 186,000 miles per second, how many is that per minute and then per
Right,
hour?
hold on.
You get what I'm saying? So do
Yep.
the per
Yeah,
second
I'm
times
doing the math
60,
right now. Yep, hold on.
and then do that times 60 to figure out per hour.
And James, do you remember the exact miles that Amshai said the
360, 365 million miles.
per hour.
No. That was she didn't say the speed. She said that it was
No, well,
When
we
that
can
Air Force
determine the
pilot
speed
went
because they said
from,
they got to Jupiter and back in 25 minutes. So that means they got to Jupiter in 12 minutes. So we
right,
can determine the
right.
speed with just that. We can figure out
yes,
the speed
12,
with
yeah,
that
12 and
information.
12, yeah, absolutely.
So
We
they're
have
like
technology.
timeline jumping. They're like timeline jumping.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
No,
are.
she said it was physically moving. It wasn't.
Physically.
It
It
wasn't
wasn't
a
timeline, it was
portal. It
It's
was.
physically.
not timeline jump. It's just
So
It
they
moving
was
really
can
fast.
linear.
follow the
Just moving
path of
really
the
fast.
craft. Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
she said it was
Yep,
linear. Yep.
totally linear.
So cool. So there's this really cool quote I wanted to just kind of throw it out there to you guys by Walter Pissell. It's The Secret of Light, and it says says that we can take a single wire and bend it 90 degrees and begin rotating it. At slow speeds, we can see the wire. At fast speeds, we only see the appearance of a solid disk. Solid matter is ultimately composed of non-solid energies vibrating at a certain frequency. So really it's understanding like the theories of what's the word? The mainstream quantum mechanics, and it's understanding. I think the government understands it in principle, but they don't really understand it as far as on the level that they need to be at.
Yeah.
The psychological, spiritual, evolutional level,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's an ether, right, fluid, and that's constantly vibrational and in motion, flowing through the entire universe at all times,
Hmm.
and all objects creating and recreating every second, right? Just as it's never ending candle flame, right, is like constantly absorbing oxygen, and it radiates heat and new light, but still continues to exit as a measurable unit and single flame.
Hmm.
Cool, right?
Interesting. Very cool. There was, I know Rabbit's telling Joe MTZ, we actually did, Joe, go to Jupiter. We didn't land on Jupiter. We went round trip. We got to Jupiter in 12 minutes and 12 minutes back. This technology we have a contact, Joe. You might be relatively new to the show. She's with the Department of Defense. She's got high security clearance. Now she's even got higher security clearance. And she's our whistleblower for the show. When she comes on here, you're going to hear information you won't hear on CNN, NBC, BBC, or whatever C you want to call it. So yeah, we have a direct contact with somebody on the inside, and we have been in the airspace of Jupiter in space and back. Yep.
All right, I
So for
got the
those who have
speed.
not heard this, yeah,
I got the speed. Are you guys ready for it?
Yep.
yeah, go ahead.
1,825. Wait. 1,825 miles per hour was how fast this thing moved.
Yeah,
So now remember, Shai doesn't know the technicalities behind it. She
right,
just knows what she observed and watched.
right.
So
That's
who's
what
to
you know.
say what the hell kind of
Can you say it again?
technology?
It was 1,825,000,000.
Wait, yeah, 1,825,000,000 miles per hour. That's the speed that
Yep.
it would take to get to Jupiter. Because remember, they did it when Jupiter was at its closest to Earth, which was in, the few weeks back there
Mm,
during that time frame.
yeah.
So yeah, it was booking it. It was booking it. And remember, she said that during they've tried it before, and every time the craft pretty much disintegrated, and
Yeah.
the pilot was
My next
lost.
question. That's my next question. Traveling at that speed of 1,825 miles per hour, basically 2 billion miles per hour, rounding up, just basically 2 billion miles per hour, traveling at that speed. How do they survive the impacts of just cosmic dust and small pebbles, just things floating
Yeah,
around in outer space?
I think that's where that zero gravity technology comes in, and
Yeah.
no boosting technology, and null grav, all that type of
It
stuff.
has to. It has to be because something as small as a grain of sand. If you're traveling
Right,
that
going
fast,
that fast is gonna rip right through it.
yeah, if you hit
Well,
something
they
as
did
small as
have.
a grain of sand, it'll rip a hole right through the hole.
Well, they did have. And Mighty, they did have. She said there were two incidences in the amount of they've done this numerous times, and two of the times were actually things happened where there were problems. The rest of them they went well, but there were two incidences, and I don't know if that happened early on when they started doing it in the early stages, but they did have two situations that were not very good, with what they were doing.
Now, I have a quick point. Now, remember the guy who was on earlier? He talked about the woman who films the moon.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
the
so
woman who
do you
films
think
the moon.
maybe
Yeah.
she caught that? It's potential that she may have caught that, and that's why she's having
I
some
don't think
issues.
I believe Shy was trying to tell us without telling us that they launched it from the back of the moon, so she would have never seen it.
Ah, okay. I know that there are people that other account people that on TikTok that watch the moon and they've seen all types of things going on.
Almighty, listen to this. I was watching a guy with his telescope watching the moon. Swear to God, man, it was like I don't want to say a snake, but for the lack of a better word, there was a big snake-looking creature, tunnel or a tube or something that
I
was
think
out
I
of the
saw.
norm, and it was casting a shadow.
I think I
Yeah.
saw that. I think I saw that. Hey, have you guys
shadow
seen?
onto the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it wasn't like a CGI type thing because you could see the shadowing, and he was just using a basic telescope.
Yeah.
So have you seen Midnight Stories, you guys?
What's it called?
Have you seen Midnight Stories? He's the guy who's Midnight Stories on TikTok.
No.
Yeah, I follow him.
Yeah,
Maybe I
have you
have. I
seen
don't
him
know.
on?
No, where's he been?
I don't know. That's why I was wondering if anybody's
Oh
seen
my
him.
gosh,
He disappeared.
He
he really
has.
did. And
Yeah,
he had a huge show. Commander, what did you do to him?
I know. He
I
did have
don't
a
know. I
huge
didn't do
show. He
anything.
came on this show one night.
He
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Yeah, I invited him on. Yep.
What did counterintelligence do to him? I don't think Commander took him out.
I haven't
No,
No,
seen
I'm
him
I don't
I
joking.
take
think
anybody
Commander's
out.
been killing, man.
I
I,
bring
I don't think
everybody
Commander
in.
did it.
Well, I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah, I don't
seen
think
him
Commander
since,
did
and
it.
I was wondering.
I'm going to show you some very interesting footage. I promised everybody you're going to see some really good new spaceship footage here. Let me just make sure it's downloaded. If it's not, it should be. Wait a minute. I'm not where I need to be here. Wait a minute. I'm going on my Ashtar
Man,
Command
that's really
spaceship news.
freaky that you brought that up, Grace. Now I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm gonna have to reach out to this guy and try to see if his account got blocked or what. And you would have think he would have added, if he would have started a new account, he would have started adding people.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
mean, he used to be on every night.
I
Yeah, pretty much.
definitely, I would, I'm definitely have been on his live, kind of just hanging out there, and he knows that I'm there, and I know he was here and on this live,
Oh,
and on Commander's
when
live.
I was on his live, he said he wanted to collaborate with me. This was a few months ago. And I said, yeah, that's great. Let's just all collaborate with each other. I'm all
Yeah,
for it.
I'm gonna be meeting up with UFO gods soon.
Okay.
I got the screen almost ready here to show you something.
But here's what I'm saying: is like if they can travel at 2 billion miles per hour, they have to have something that is protecting them from the impacts of
Yeah,
there's all kinds of rocks.
that's the
So
technology that they've been working on. Yep, that's what Shai was
yes,
saying. That they
so
just like
they have high impact shielding,
Yeah.
completely high impact shielding, and these are the kinds of things we need to figure out, and we need to figure out how they work if we ever want to go there. Like as a
Well,
human
I think
species,
once
if
the
we want to go to
disclosure
where they're from.
comes, once contact comes, and once disclosure really happens, they're going to release all of that technology.
No, they're
There
not
will
going to
Yeah.
be
teach
no
us.
more.
They've been here.
There'll,
They've been here
there'll
hundreds of
be
years.
no
They haven't taught us
more.
anything. They're not going to teach us. They're not going to
No,
teach us.
I mean, they're going to have to disclose everything when the UFOs land and we have contact. There's going to be no more hiding it. all the governments around the world will crumble, and we will live in utopia.
Well,
And
you
You
know what
know,
I recently heard them say? I recently heard them say that they fear disclosing these things because they fear of the backlash that will come upon them for all of the years that they've hid these things, all of the people who they've unalived in order to hide these things, all of the nasty things that they've done in order to keep these things a secret, for them to later disclose it, they fear that something will happen to them. So they want amnesty from us first before
Joe
they disclose any of these things. They
Joe
want all of us to
MTZ,
promise that we'll not do anything to them before they
right,
disclose these things.
I'm gonna
right.
show you
Like we're
guys.
gonna have to give them amnesty.
yeah, there
Are
are
you
a
ready
lot
Hey,
of
for?
in the chat, Joe MTZ was asking, do we have lasers to shoot at them? We have a
Yeah,
weapon.
scalar technology. Yeah.
It's called a scalar weapon, and it's actually an atomic based weapon that we're just starting to like really test it out. And it was first tested on a craft involved with the Chinese spy balloon incident, and we were able to down a craft with it and
I'll be
recover
right
the
back.
craft. But it's because it, it was the first time we attempted to use it. The second time they tried to use it, it had no effect on the craft.
All right. So question was, I only had three. I didn't want to take up all of you guys' time, but that was my first one. My next question was, um, so you know the sun protects this entire solar system from cosmic rays with the
Right.
heliosphere. Okay, so how do they once they leave their star, when they're in between stars, when they're not at their star and they're not at our star, how do they protect themselves from the cosmic rays? You get what I'm
I
saying? Like
think,
right,
yeah, I think they've got the ultimate protection, and I think honestly, other than like that big, huge mothership craft that's moving through space that can't go interdimensional, I don't think they're linearly traveling from a star to Earth. I think that any interstellar craft, they're not using like a warp drive. I think all of them are using like a wormhole portal type system.
Yeah. Speaking of wormholes, I got
space
the
and put the two
video.
spaces together.
Right, right. Yeah, like the how they show the holes in a piece of paper folding it together, that type of thing. That's
Okay.
but they
So,
Well,
okay,
that
I'm
let's
gonna
see the
show.
raises even more
video.
questions, though. But like, that raises even more questions about how do we bend space time? You know, like that's the obvious next question: is how do we bend space?
Well, speaking
These are
of
the things we
space,
need to discuss
segueing
as
from
humans. If we
space, I'm
want to
gonna
go
show
there,
you
these
a
are the things we
video.
need to discuss.
I'm gonna
I can.
show all you folks a video here. This is from Arizona, Phoenix, October 7th. I posted on TikTok. It's on my YouTube channel. I want you to see it. Let me see if I can go into it here, and I will show you. Oh, it's not where I want it to be. You will see it. Let's see if it shows. Okay. You can kind of see the. Let me see if I can bring it up more. I can't. Oh, I can enlarge the screen. I keep forgetting. I can enlarge the picture. Let me see here. Okay, it's not really what I want to do. Let's see if I can enlarge it. There's a way of doing that. I know there's a way of enlarging. I'm going to go backwards here. We're going to try to show you a close-up of it here, maybe. You can kind of see it.
So I think that asking questions is huge. I think that
Yeah.
that's a big part of this. And I know while Commander's getting this set up for the Congress, they requested over 30 agencies to reveal and disclose. So that
That's
stuff's
all
still
bull crap.
coming. Yeah, and you know what?
Oh,
They're going to,
hold on a
of
minute.
course, they're going to definitely be cautious with what they reveal, as we know.
Keep talking. I'm just trying to get the screen bigger. I want you to be able to see this. It's really a very good video.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing. It's just I have a million questions about this because I literally cannot stop thinking about this. And so it's like
Yeah.
another question is like after we leave our star, the temperatures in outer space drop from which are already freezing and killing temperatures that would kill us, but it drops from way below freezing to like negative 300 Kelvin. It's like how do they survive the temperature in outer space, in between
Commander,
in between two stars,
I'm looking at your video.
It's like lumiferious ethers,
I'm
Let's see if I
They
can
watching
get
have
your
to have
closer for
something
video.
you.
that's
You
they have
can
to have
see it a little
something
bit
that's
here.
allowing them to travel fast
I'm not sure what's
and
going on,
stay
but the
warm
screen is.
and protecting them from cosmic rays all at the same time. And I'm wondering what type of people say technology, but technology is nothing more than science.
I
So
think
I'm
Shai
wondering
said
what type of
something
science
about,
it is that's
exactly, and
doing
I
this.
think that Shai said something about Mercury.
They use mercury-based technology too.
So that would mean like electromagnetism then, because that's really what Mercury is. Mercury is the only liquid metal that's magnetic like that.
Yes,
So
and
it would be
repels as
electromagnetism.
well. It repels as well.
But would it repel the cosmic rays from outer space, from like interstellar space?
Yeah,
I
but
think
I'm not the
I
one to
think
answer
their
that.
technology is so far beyond ours that when we conceptualize it, it will blow our minds.
I agree with that. I think even coming into contact blows, coming into head-on contact with an extraterrestrial being or non-human being, that it will blow people's minds. People
I can agree personally. It does.
and that also, like, look at what this whole Peru thing, who knows what's going on with Peru exactly, if it's true or not, but just look at the response, if it is in fact true, look at the response of
Wait,
panic.
can you touch on that? Like what happened in Peru? I haven't heard about that. Can you touch on that for those who haven't heard about it?
There was some kind of I think it might have been orchestrated, and it's just, I just speculated that there was a invasion.
Oh wow! What like aircraft landed or they were just in the sky?
They're saying no. There was videos of supposed creatures and
On ground, yeah.
um, and
One of them.
listen, it was so well orchestrated that at first Shai said that it was disinformation, and then she came back
Yeah.
and said that there might be truth behind it.
Yeah. The truth
Understood.
would be the truth behind it would be that whatever people projected. Now, there's a lot of misinformation by people that were going on Facebook and TikTok, creating their own content and creating these images of like negative beings with red eyes. And that was all TikTok animated CGI creation. Those weren't truthful things. And the problem there was people would take that and say, oh, that's what's going on. But there were other people that said they saw light beings in Peru that were in the body of a form of light, what we call light beings. So the other stuff that was negative was never substantiated because those are things being created by people, on TikTok and other places, YouTube, and there was no factual information. So that was the real problem, is this disconnect of information.
And this is
Now the
why I
video I was
hate
trying
the
to show,
algorithm.
I'm going to try to see if I can get another copy of the video posted. But if you go on my Astro Command Spaceship News page, everybody, I have it posted there. You can see it very clear, and you can see the bluish colored spaceships in Phoenix. I don't know why it didn't show up on the screen the way it should have. So, but you'll see it if you go on my main page. It's right there.
Commander, can you put James on the large screen so we can
Oh
see
Yeah, let
what
no,
me.
no,
he's...
no! You don't have to put me on the large screen. I was just showing that how the dang algorithm works. Google.
Got
I'm
it.
on the thing, and then I get this article: how humanity can travel incredibly fast in space explored.
Oh, come
Interesting.
on.
Talk about
The damn
pretty
government
crazy.
algorithm.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I swear they read the thoughts.
Well,
I thought no,
Shai
yeah,
said
they do.
that
They
there's
do.
that technology out there too.
They
Yeah.
do.
and
They
then it's in
do.
our phones.
And
Yes,
someone
it is. It
earlier in
is.
the room was talking about, oh, his commander was talking earlier about actually, uh, n- thinking about something and like wanting a sandwich and then the sandwich appears. So
Hmm.
that's a part of manifestation. That's sort of what we are doing,
Mm.
but we haven't really reached it to full capacity.
Yeah, that's what I talked about earlier about the manifestation of getting to where our space was. Now, Ashtar, when I've spoken to Ashtar directly, I own channel, and Ashtar Athena, who's from Venus, who I met many years ago, she's like my second mother, she's like my mom, and she stated that when you're at the level that these space people are from their planetary systems, they can create things by thought. So on their spaceship, if they are traveling to a specific galaxy or solar system, whatever, and they're hungry, they just create it by thought, and then it's there. So if they want juice, they create it by thought. If they want a vegetable, they create it by thought. They don't even have to grow the vegetable. That's how advanced they are, you know?
Hey, Almighty, did you ever
Yes.
see the movie called Lucy?
I think so. That was the one with the really smart blonde woman. I think she was half AI or something like that.
No, no,
Correct me
no.
if I'm wrong.
Lucy was Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman, where she starts using more of her brain, 10%, 15, 20, 30%.
Yes,
But
yes, yes.
the reason I bring it up is because they talk about, what happens when the humans start using more of their brain. And, when humans get to 30% of their brain capacity, we can control our pain, we can control our metabolism, we can control our eye color, our hair color, we can talk telepathically, we can integrate with electronics. So just imagine, these beings that have, evolved millions and billions of years longer than we have, where they can, their manifestation powers are just, ours are nothing compared to theirs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
James, I really do believe that. I mean, I know for myself, it's just incredible some of the things that happen. It's like I think of something and it just completely uh, comes right. It
It
just
manifests.
it manifests right in front of my eyes,
Yeah,
like
listen,
within
I'm gonna just
seconds.
today I was doing we were setting up for the haunted house, and there was this lady in there, and she was just getting to me. So I just said a silent prayer to myself. I said, "Oh Lord, just please remove this lady from my presence." And a second after I said that, her
She was
phone
gone.
rings. She picks up her phone and she's like, "Oh, okay, bye." And she's like, "Hey, I gotta go," and she left.
Yep.
And
See,
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
"Thank
reminds me of
you,
some
thank
movies
you,
like that.
Doris."
That's really interesting.
see, and we're surprised by that. We should not be surprised by that. I no
No, I mean,
longer
listen, I've
am
fired
surprised
people
by that.
telepathically before.
Yeah, I mean, I am no longer surprised by
When you
that.
say
This
it
is
like that,
something we are capable of doing and more. And the
Mm.
comments, some of the people in the comments, they have such incredible things to say. Um, Somebody just said, yes, a lot of people, oh, it was Garza. Yes, a lot of people are finally awakening and getting of autopilot, which connects us. It's so true. If we all get together, and like we're going to do that room meditation for peace,
Yeah.
yeah,
and the meditations that Commander does here in the room, and then even our CE5 helps with raising that vibration.
Yes, yes.
The
Yeah.
practice, the creation. Remember, I was talking a couple, I don't know when it was of last week,
Hmm.
about creating and, doing some kind of creating that helps
Yeah.
to get you into theta. And the more you practice, the more you can receive and grow that percentage of the brain. I just feel like, and I think somebody else out in the TikTok land talks about decalcifying, the pineal gland, which is a lot of it is due to, fluoride. and
In the
you know
water.
what has
Yeah.
been put in our water, what's been put in our
Yeah.
toothpaste. I mean, what easier than to control a society than to, you know, insert some kind of a, you know, something that cements our third eye.
Yeah.
The air and the vaccines and the food, they put it in a lot of places.
Mm.
So, I mean, listen, they started doing that in the 1970s, 60s, or 70s, the
Yeah.
fluoride.
Wait
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
Are you trying to say that the government is putting stuff in our foods?
Are you
Are
You
James?
you
know better
trying to
than I
say,
do.
I
are
don't want to
you
be that
telling
guy.
me that there's little green men up there in space with
You
crafts
know,
coming down?
I
I
knew it.
don't want to
I
hear
don't
it.
want to be that guy,
I
but I
knew that
am telling
James
you
wasn't.
they are
You know,
putting stuff
Grace,
in the
I
food.
knew that James. I knew that James was really having a Southern voice. He tries to hide it. So that's his real voice, James. You talk like that all the time, man.
You
You can
That's
hide
too,
it
the
in
don't
true
you,
Florida,
nature
though.
of a
James?
Floridian. James
You got to
is,
let the
yeah,
Florida
I'm
boy come.
down here in Orlando, and
So
you're darn tootin' right.
Mr. B says it's like trying something. I think Mr. B was talking to the when we mentioned the mercury.
Yeah,
He wrote it's like trying to put two magnets together. The resistance stops the cold and outside objects. That's very interesting
yeah, absolutely.
and simple, right? And
Wait, you
then
said it stops the cold, like
mm-hmm,
temperature?
yeah,
That's
it
interesting.
stops the cold and outside objects. And
That
then
What's it called again, Grace? Repeat that again.
Mr. B wrote, it's like trying to put two magnets together. The resistance
Yeah,
stops the cold and outside objects.
he's referring to the electromagnetism of highly pressurized mercury. The electromagnetic effect of highly pressurized mercury.
Isn't that amazing?
hmm.
Yes, yes.
And
It's just
so,
okay. So that leads me to my third question because I promised, like I said, I only had three questions. I wasn't going to come up here and talk all day. But my third question was, if these guys, well, I don't want to call them guys, but if the extraterrestrials traveled this far, came this long of a way, invested this much technology, this much resources, this much personnel, built these aircrafts, came all the way over here just to observe us, I feel like there is some deeper ulterior motive. And I know some people are going to say that's fear based. I'm not saying it's a negative thing that their motive is, but
Right.
I think they are planning something. I don't know if it's good or bad. Maybe it's good, but I don't think they came all the way here just to look at us, fight each other,
I can,
and
I can, I can,
promote
I would like
Israel
to,
or
I can
whatever,
answer that
right?
question, Almighty. I
Yeah.
would love to answer it. It's a great question. And like you said, you're not saying it's bad or whatever. So now I'll talk just as Ashtar Commander Alion, not just talk show host Commander Alion. So when I had the connection as a child with the space people, when I went to my brother's room and my parents and my brother were downstairs, he's 8 years older than I am. And I went upstairs for no reason. I mean, I just went flight tealing upstairs and went into his room and opened the shades, and the spaceship was right there hovering like this. As big as the cul-de-sac was, it was like hovering only a few feet from the level of the tar. Just the cul. You know what a cul-de-sac is. So it's a suburban neighborhood where I lived, and
Yes.
the thing was just hovering there. And these people, I see them clear as day, men, women, and children. Now I was still preteen, so I don't have the knowledge. I have the knowledge now that I didn't have then. I didn't know why I went upstairs and went to my brother's window, and then I went downstairs excited, trying to get everyone else to come up and say, "Oh yeah, we'll come up. I want to show you something." I don't remember what I said exactly as a kid. Went up, no one came up. I got really upset. I mean, I was like pounding on the second floor carpet, on the walkway to the bedroom. And then I got up and went back, and they were right there. I was not upset anymore. I kept looking at them, and they said, "You're not from here. You're from not here. You have a family here, but you're not from here." And so to answer your question, the intentions from my personal experience, which is the best way to share that answer to your question, is that they came here because we are from somewhere else. That's part of it. The other part of it is that then finally, as I got older, I realized I was from Mars, and I started learning about Mars, and I started wondering, why did I have such a connection? Why did I always love looking at the planet Mars, and always loved Mars? And then I understood now, a lot more. The other part of it is the reason why there's many of these what we call UFOs or UAPs. I call it spaceships when I can identify a craft. When people say when you're identifying something, it's not from the out of this world. But I'm going to take the definition of identifying something that is out of this world. So when I can identify a UFO as being a spaceship, it's identified for me in my definition out of this world. The reason why they're here now, they've been here for billions of years, coming and going, depending on the vibrational pattern of our planet. They're coming back now because contact is supposed to happen now. It's supposed to occur now. Now, I don't know the answers why it's supposed to occur now. I just know that to answer your question more in depth is, and it's a great question, that we are part of them. They are part of us. They are our cosmic family. And it's, you might hear that word bounced around here or there, but truly, when I say the word cosmic family, because I'm not from Earth, I speak from a different reality perception to answer the question. They are here to reunite with us. Like, for example, you're connected with somebody or some group of beings from another star system. Now, you might not know what it is, and that's perfectly fine. No one's going to know. Not everybody on this planet knows yet where their connections are. But the beauty is you're eventually going to find out. And now because there's so many people talking about how there's things happening and they're having visitations and there's going to be contact towards 2027, 30 years ago, I would never say that. But now I feel, and I don't channel anything, and the people I get information from to correlate my information, they don't channel either. Dr. Greer has referred to it, Daryl Anka, Paul Anka's brother, who has the Society, they've talked about it in their videos that they record. As of I think late last year into the new year, there was a room full of people, and the topic was contact, and they talked about 2027 very distinctly. I knew about that before I heard Del Anka, so I'm trying to give more of an in-depth answer. I don't know if that helps a bit, but
No, it
my
helps,
direct
but
contact
You
when I was
think
a kid, that blew me away.
it
I
helps, but I have more questions because if their purpose is contact, obviously we can't teach them anything. So if their purpose is contact, they're here to teach us or show us something.
Yes,
So if they're
that's
here to
right.
teach us or show us something, why are they waiting? Why don't they just do it now? That's the number one
Because
question. And
because
also,
there's I can answer that too. You ever hear the word divine timing?
okay, I'll give you that one. I guess, sure, okay.
Yeah, it's divine timing. It's like there are many times over the years where I said, gosh darn it, or maybe I didn't say that, come on now, I want to see your ship. This is before I was mature enough and old enough, like I am now, to understand a lot more things. But, I would say, oh, how come I don't see anything? Because all my life when I was a kid, I would get up 3 a.m, there'd be spaceships going over the night sky when everyone's sleeping. I see these balls of light going through. It'd be like a regular occurrence. And then, for some reason, I just didn't focus on it. But I would say, why not now? How come not now? That's the human part of it. It's like, just like you're saying, it's like, why not now? It's all divine timing. Divine timing from a non-terrestrial standpoint is different because they don't live in time. We live in time. Everything, revolves around time. It's the time to eat dinner. I get up in the morning. I have my coffee. I do have my coffee every morning, by the way, with a little bit of whipped cream. So, we have everything. We have certain things that we're relegated that we do. Like it's almost like automatic. We go in automatic mode, but for them, it's definitely divine timing. So we can't, from our perspective, well, why doesn't happen? A lot of people ask that question. It's a great question. Why wait? Why not now? It's all because it's a divine timing thing. It's also, now we're ready to have contact because we actually are operating in a much more elevated role in our consciousness than we were 30 years ago in Earth time. So you're much more ready for it now than you would have been 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I don't know how old you would have been, but you're much more ready for it now.
Yeah,
Commander,
I feel like
and we
I
have
feel
to
like
bring up the
individually. No, go ahead, James.
We're all
I said
excited now.
we have to bring up the thought process that let's look at the Galactic Federation, right? So the Ashtar Command, they come down and they disclose everything right now. Say they came down right now. Humans we are barbarians. We can't
Yes.
even give up our Starbucks or Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts.
We're
We are
zero.
we are
You can't go
stuck
10
in
years without a
branding.
war. You can't go
We
10 years without
still
war.
we still have money. We still have all of that. So until society, so think about it. If you were a being of peace and you were, and I'm doing a bit on my next podcast where we do like UFOs traveling to Earth as like a field trip.
Mhm.
So imagine they're coming on the field trip and the teacher's like, hey kids, we've got Earth here. These
Right,
creatures, they're still fighting with each other. These
right,
creatures, they still have this system, this antiquated system called capitalism. They're looking at us the same way we're looking at people, animals in a zoo.
right,
And
right.
that's why they're, because now imagine if they come down, they give us, do you really want Joe Biden on the Ashtar command? Do you want any of our current leaders, quote unquote leaders, being representatives of the planet? Absolutely
Listen,
If
not.
they could
I
Well, let
have
me
to
put
mentally
it.
add.
upgrade him, if they could mentally upgrade our leaders, I would say yes. But at the current state, I would say heck no.
Yeah,
Let me
and
put it
I
this
But
way.
agree
because
that.
they think, because there's a free will, and until the free will becomes love and light, the free will of Earth, they're not gonna, they're gonna try to force it. They are trying to force it. That's why we're
Well,
having contact. That's why
and
you had your experience.
That's right.
absolutely, and
And
people are going to scramble, right, Commander? I mean, people will scramble. People are fear-based, and the thing is,
right,
though, I think that Swavamani, this is a process. It's got to evolve. It's an evolution process. I feel like
right,
it has to evolve. It's not something that
right.
can just go, wait, I mean, you know how they have a crash happen? It's shocking, right? People scramble right away. We want to attack.
You're right,
I,
Grace. But that could take another 3,000 years for humanity
Yeah,
to
but let me
evolve.
put it this way.
I'm being
Let me
you're right,
like
let me
right?
seriously. No, I'm being
let
so
me
Yeah,
serious. Like I
it
think
is
I think
true.
I think from an
let me throw
individual
this out.
perspective,
Let me
I
throw this
think
out
we're
here
ready.
because
I think all the people here in this chat are ready, and I think some
we're
people
all
on
ready.
Earth are ready. But from a humanity, from a species perspective, humanity itself is not ready. We can't go 10
That's
Well,
years without
right.
war.
we have
I feel
billions
like
of
the
people.
aliens are
That's the
watching us
deal.
go to war every few minutes. Like, what are they doing now? Like, why are they doing this
Right.
again? You know?
But you know what? And because James asked me from an Ashtar Command perspective, so I'm going to go back into my Ashtar Command mode for everybody here for a minute instead of just being the talk show host. So we're wondering what's going to happen when contact happens. When the space people are going to land their ships, and they are going to do that, believe it or not. They're not waiting for anything. Like I said, divine timing. Everything's divine timing. So our perception of what would happen if they land, you know, honestly, who knows? But from my
Remember the word
galactic understanding,
ontological shock.
they'll be definitely shocked. There'll be people in high places that were keeping the secret for 70 years. They'll be hiding in a bathroom,
Mm.
locking the doors so that they can't get out of the bathroom. And they're going to be saying, I'm afraid of these people. They're going to come here and tell people the truth. Now again, I'm being, a little bit acting here for a moment, but what I'm saying is there's nothing for us to fear. Although there will be billions of people on the planet, not everyone's going to be at the same level of understanding that all of us in this room are. And that is where we come in. So it's up to us to educate those people. How do we do it? We just do it.
Hmm.
We just do
I
something
also
we've not
have
done
this
before.
theory. I also have this theory, and not to go like religion based, but
Right.
if we base a little bit off of, just a little bit off of the Bible, and we talk about the end of times and Revelation, and Jesus coming back, who's to say that the ETs aren't going to come and say, "Hey, y'all, we've been watching you. We know your heart. We know your soul. We know what's in your mind. So and y'all are cool. You're coming with us. The rest of you can stay here."
Well, that's
And
the
that
thing.
might happen.
I'm going to tell you something about that. I didn't want to mention this, but the Ashtar Command has a plan. And when they go into red alert, the only time they go into red alert, it's only happened twice in my adult life. One when I was my friend Athena, she was staying at our house where I used to live. She was traveling the East Coast and she stayed with us. And they said, Ashtar said, if we ever put you on red alert, meaning the Ashtar Command, people that are on Earth that remember they're with the Ashtar Command, the galactic forces of that, they would beam us up off, they called it beaming us up off the planet. I'm sharing a true story. They would beam us off the planet. They would take all the people that were not from here off planet. Now I don't, and the last time I had a red alert broadcast, I think it was early this year or when I first got on TikTok, when I became able to go live, there was a red alert and their concern was there was something going on with the planet where they would take us off planet. And, again, from an Ashtar Command perspective, they would not leave anyone behind. They're not here to, but people that are in conflict with each other would be taken to what they call a parallel Earth. So nothing is left behind here. Those that are in conflict with each other and those that are still fighting each other, they'd be taken on to another parallel Earth where that timeline would exist. The rest of the society of people on the planet Earth would be elevated into another timeline or another place, which is Earth, that is not in a timeline of conflict, of war. So let's say there were 5 or 6 billion people awakened out of however many people we have on Earth. Whatever that is, they would be taken and beamed up off the planet. Now, I don't know what being beamed up off the planet is. I remember when we had the red alert years ago, and I was living in another town in Connecticut, when I heard there was a red alert, they were saying that if you see the beam of light, and I would say outside of my house, a wooded area, cul-de-sac on a hill, if you see the beam of light, you're to walk into it and they're taking us off planet. And I knew what that meant. I wasn't afraid. I knew that if they was ever a red alert and they had to take us off planet, we would be beamed up, in a sense, whatever that beam is, we would be very comfortably beamed up onto a major big ship. Not just one ship, there'd be many ships beaming people up. So I never forgot that. I know what it means. So I'm speaking from very much an Ashtar Command perspective for people in this room. So if there ever is a time, because I am here representing the Ashtar Command as well as doing a talk show and radio and doing workshops, if there ever is a time when we are to be beamed up and I get that information, I'm going to be the first one here to tell you about it if we ever get to that point. But what I can say is that the reason why the ships are coming, these are not just ships. They are spiritual beings, men and women from other planets, galactic civilizations. So people need to take time to, if you're working, a lot of people here work, and then when they're not working, they try to do what they want to do, which is meditate or come onto the show, watch the show. Everybody needs to take the time to themselves, whatever little bit of time you have for freedom, to meditate, to focus, get prepared for contact. Now's the time to do it. Things are being amped up on the timeline so quickly that when, all these sightings, like the sighting I was trying to show on the screen, would have been a great example. I have 169 people in here. When you leave the show tonight, before you go to sleep or whatever, go onto my main page and you'll see the video from Arizona, a lot clearer than I tried to show it tonight. And when you see the video, it's an example of these bluish ships that are appearing, an armada of them. And that's in one specific area. Now, if you think about right now around the world, people that are having encounters with spaceships, I can't keep count, but I would imagine in every country of the world or every part of our planet, there's something going on right now in the sky. We're not talking about SpaceX. We're not talking about satellites or reverse technology, right? We're talking about actual events. I would even go to as far as to say there are people, and I don't know the percentages. I'm not that smart, in that cosmic sense, to know how many people are being visited. I would say visitation levels, opposed to 30 years ago, are way, way higher, and they're not being documented. How are you going to document somebody's being visited by a space being from another planet. You can document video footage of spaceships or UFOs or UAPs. You can't document that. Although on my show, we can somewhat document it in a very loose way. You know, anyone who watch this show, you know that there are people here that have been visited directly in their house.
Right.
Right in
You
their
know,
house.
Commander.
We can't give you a percentage, nor am I going to try that, but it's going to increase. You're going to see increased amounts of people that are going to be visited. And hopefully some of those people, at least to come here, we can document if it's 5 people a week, in a month 100 people, those visitations will increase. Without a question, people are going to be
Yep.
contacted.
You know, Commander, and you know, I've been always blessed with the gift of foresight, and I could read society, I could forecast things in society pretty well, and I can see trends and how those trends, how they affect our lives. So, and not to get conspiracy theory-ish, but recently, especially over the past 4 weeks, there's been these videos of people just disappearing. One of them was a
Oh,
school
yeah.
bus full of kids disappearing. Another one was this lady in New York, and it's all these videos, and they're all fake. But
They are fake. Those are fake videos. It's a movie.
there is a societal reason for these fake things, because the powers that be want to see how people will react. How are
Right.
people going to react in social media when they're seeing videos of people just disappearing? And you know what? The response wasn't good. That's why the governments are scrambling right now, because people slowly but surely, more and more people are finding out that they're being fooled. I mean, there's still people on this planet that think the government has our best interest, and they're all good people, and Hollywood elites are the best, brightest of the world, and it's like, but they do these things to test it out the same way they did it with they do it with hurricanes now. They'll say a hurricane is going to hit one place, it really hits another place, and they want to see how quick do people react in that type of a situation. It's happening all around us. So that's why I brought up.
No, what you're saying about those videos of disappearing people, I think it's a movie that's coming out. It's all fake, and there are people that were gullible enough to believe it's real. There's nobody disappearing on a bus. It's all part of a movie. Whether the government's involved in the production of it, it's like I said, it's all fear-based garbage. It's not true. There's nobody disappearing, But I'll tell you this. But the positive thing is that people that are being, like I said before, we can't gauge how many people are being visited in their homes, apartments, out on a farm, but there's got to be thousands of, as one person said, there's got to be thousands upon thousands of human beings that are having personal contact right now.
Before we end the show, Mr. B wanted to come. I think we missed him last time. Let's get him on real quick. He said he has something important to say.
Yeah, and while you're bringing him up,
yes, I can drop down. I just wanted to thank you guys for letting me up, asking my few questions.
Listen, we don't have all the answers, but we try to just at least give insight.
James, I have all the answers.
This guy. Hey.
Always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. Thank you guys so much, and keep up the good work, and keep doing your thing, guys.
Yeah,
thank
you too, man. You too.
So I wanted to add to your comment, Rabbit, while you're bringing up Mr. B. I think that there are more people that are, in the same position and state of consciousness that we're in. That number is growing and growing and growing, right?
Yeah, and part of that number is going to be people having to reconcile within themselves and realize, oops, I might have been wrong.
Yeah, and you know what?
I want everyone to continue in just a second. I want to do a non-commercial ad.
Yes.
Real quickly for the show. Please, we have 165 people on here now, and I appreciate every one of you.
Let's get to 50,000.
I want to thank you all to be here. Please, if you have TikTok, if you want to be a subscriber to my show, we have 31 of 100 stars. You can subscribe. I guess you can, can't get the words out. Subscribe either for a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's up to you. Become a subscriber. The subscription thing is going towards the 3D night vision equipment. Become a subscriber. If you have enough coins in TikTok, throw us some, whatever kind of gift you want. It could be roses. Casey, thank you for the roses. So I want to take a minute or two before we have Mr. B on. I want to see some gifting go on here.
Yeah, and
Julie, if you ask
follow
me,
one another. Follow one another too in the
everybody
room.
follow each other, get to know each
How
other.
can I email
This
you,
show is really
Commander?
about inclusivity with people. And my co-host, James, we have Skip to Grace. Grace is our cosmic spiritual person that helps people when they come on here too. And so please, if it takes a lot of work mentally to do this the way we do this late at night. And so your support by gifting, whatever you can, TikTok coin wise, do. If you don't have any ability to gift anything, that's fine too. We want you to all be here, but
Thank
definitely,
you.
I
Oh, Kit
appreciate
Kat,
all the
look at her
gifts.
rock and
Kit Kat,
rolling.
She
thank you
is
so much.
killing it. Kit
And
Kat on
also,
a roll.
we're going to
Woohoo!
do, I'm putting in the pin for the galaxies. A galaxy is 1,000 TikTok coins. So if you have 10,000 TikTok coins, please think of doing a galaxy. If you can do a whale with a water thingy or that light thingy going across the screen, whatever you want to do, just do it, unconditionally. you know.
Thanks for
So
the
that's
gift,
all I wanted to say.
everyone.
You can keep gifting before we sign off. We'll be out of here by 1:30 at the latest, East Coast. We've been on here since 11:15 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to bring Mr. B up. If you've been trying to be a guest tonight, we'll get you on tomorrow night. So if we don't get everybody on tonight, I know there are people waiting. We'll get you on certainly tomorrow night. Everybody follow each other. We have 174 people on here, a lot of new people, I'm sure. We're glad you're here. This is an actual UFO talk show. I'm the host of WESU FM Sunday morning show. Tune into that show on Sunday mornings, 11:30 to 1. East Coast, WESUFM.org, Pacifica Radio. I've been doing that radio show for about 20 years. And I've
Don't
been on
forget to
radio since
mention
the
your
70s.
email.
And
Mention your email address.
my email address, if you have any video footage, and you wish to send me any UFO video footage, it's CmdRAleon at AOL.com. That's CmdRAleon at AOL.com. That's
You've
my
got
email
mail.
for the show.
You've got mail.
Yes, you've got mail.
We are gathering the star seeds, whale and song. Now let's see
Yes, we
Mr.
are.
B. Welcome, Mr. B.
Hello, you beautiful souls.
How you doing,
Um,
Mr. B?
I'm doing great. I got an announcement, but first, I want to just say, now, it is so, it's not easy to reach that next level because of what we are on the inside. I mean, we have emotions, we have fear, we have hate, but one thing for certain, we are all one. We are all family. You can't be
Right,
in this group. You can't be in this group saying yay, crystals this, yay, higher ascension that, but then get home and lock the door if somebody walk past your car. You got to love
right.
that
Oh,
person
yeah.
too. You got to love. That's the main thing. You got to share love because that's a major part of this stuff. If you don't have that, you missing a major part. You
Yep.
really are.
Yep.
You won't be able to go anywhere. You won't. So I don't
You're
care.
missing the cosmic ship of light.
Exactly. And I don't care what race, color, creed, what you like sexually or whatever. I love you.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the key. And another thing, I'm not a mathematician, I'm not a scientist, I'm far from that. But when y'all was talking about the spaceship and how it didn't get cold or how it didn't get destroyed, I knew exactly what it was. It was the mercury with the magnets, and it's running on the frequency. Vibration is
Right.
everything. The frequency is everything. I knew that. Don't know why, but I did know that. And this is the last thing I gotta say. Y'all three guys, I already wrote one book. I'm doing two and three. I already know how they gonna end and all that. But I'm gonna add y'all either in my second book or the third one. But I'm going to use y'all screen names if that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
You kidding me?
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna
Shoot, I
put
give
you
you my
guys.
social security number. Just
And
See,
his social
it,
Yes,
security
you can do
number,
that.
you
see,
can definitely do that.
I already got your part down the rabbit hole. Because I mean, these people they're gonna need a conspiracy guy to go to. You're gonna have all the answers for them. Grace, you're gonna be the technical part, and Commander, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is me. I got it. I already got it. I already see it. So I'm
I
putting you
can't
guys in
wait.
my
I can't wait
second.
for the movie
You
adaptation.
know what?
So
When it
exciting.
becomes a bestseller, man, we want to be there with you.
We got to
Mr.
start with
B,
the
only
first one.
when we make the movie, we have to get Jack Black to play me.
Okay,
Oh, that
that'll
would
be
be
pretty
actually
cool.
good, Jack Black.
That'll be pretty cool.
We're gonna bring the thunder.
That'll be pretty cool. But that's my plan. I was just working and I thought about it. I said I'm gonna put these guys in my next book, and that's what I'm gonna do. Promise. I
Yeah, I
promise.
believe you're going to go all the way with that book too. With those books, yeah,
Oh
without a
yeah,
question.
man. We're gonna go to your book signing and everything.
Yeah, we
Now
will.
I never got a chance to ask Grace. Grace, did you like it?
Did I like your book? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
You
that's
did
important to me.
ask me. You asked me when you came in the first time, and you said that I mentioned your book, which there are no coincidences, you know.
Yeah, I know. Y'all didn't know I was watching,
No idea.
but y'all
Almighty
guys
wants
going
to
in
be
the
in the
next
movie
one.
too.
Almighty, yeah, we gotta have Almighty. We gotta do a throwback scene to his encounter in the Middle East,
Yeah,
and we
Oh.
can have him
Y'all,
play himself.
yeah, that's true too.
I'm positive y'all guys going in my next one. I already got roles for you. I
Oh,
already
good.
So
visualized it.
fun.
Oh
All
man,
right.
I love it.
Well,
I
well,
already
it's almost
visualized
near the cosmic sleeping hour on the East Coast. It's 1:24.
Yeah.
And Mr. B, I really appreciate you coming up, man. That's
Wait. Somebody said who would play Commander. I know exactly who would play Commander, but none other than Jason Statham.
I don't know who Jason
I'm
Statham
My
is.
who's
name's the
Jason?
Commander. I'm from Mars, and I'm
What does he
here
look
to
like?
deliver you into cosmic freedom.
What does Jason look like? This actor?
Oh, Jason Statham is a beautiful man.
I think I know who you mean.
I was just joking, not Jason Statham.
Who are you
More
thinking
like
of?
Jason Segal from I Love You, Man.
Hmm.
I don't know how to look up these names because I don't know them.
No, I know who Jason Segel is. Huh? I'm
it.
not sure about that one.
Oh,
I
Kevin
had a guy in
Costner.
mind. I can't think of his name neither. I can't even think of any movies he played in.
Somebody wrote the guy from Dancing with Wolves.
No,
Kevin
we have.
Costner.
If anyone plays me, they have to be a peaceful being, an actor that is totally aware who can play the role
Kevin
well.
Costner.
No,
Yeah.
he won't be
Yeah,
good
that
for
would be
that.
right.
Now wait, Mr. B. Who would play you?
Oh, I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not outside. I'm just a
He's on
writer.
the
Oh,
outside.
but we
I'm
gotta
just a
have a
writer.
scene. We gotta have the scene of your stories. Got to be in there too.
I'm just a
And
writer. But at the end, I'm going to write a book about my story, all my experiences, and
Right.
all that. I am going to do that.
So let me tell everybody now before we sign off for the night on the show. We're going to be eventually these books are going to go big, and they're going to make a major motion picture out of it. I do believe that's going to happen. I'm kind of half joking, but I actually do believe that'll happen.
I believe it because the stuff that's going on now, it's in my first book. It's in
Yeah.
my first book.
Drew
See,
And
I'm telling
Barrymore
you.
skips it crazy.
Yeah,
it
everything
did.
on this show actually becomes a reality, and everything on this show is a reality. So there you go.
Mr. B cameo by Jaimin Hunsu.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you spoken with Chris Walken and his experience on the Jeff Goldblum
Christopher Walken.
Wait, what?
and on the
Wow, I
Jeff
see
Goldblum?
all of these aliens and wow.
Lilith wants to know what the name of the book is going to be, Mr. B.
Love and light battles the forces of evil.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And what? And tell them the name of your current books that they can get right now.
Right.
that's part one. It's gonna be a trilogy.
A
Ooh.
trilogy. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Trilogies are great. I mean, look at when you had, what's it called? The movies with Harry Potter, the trilogies of that, the
There was
trilogies of the
9.
Star Wars.
There was 8 of those movies.
Yeah, whatever. And even with Star Wars, if you look at that from a trilogy perspective, where that's taken from, that's going to be beautiful. So it's just going to be an ongoing thing if they make movies out of it, related to this TV show and what we've been talking and who we are. That's going to be very interesting. So,
And
folks, you might see this happen.
I consider myself a movie buff. So I want my next two books are gonna be better than the first one. Period. Especially when I have you guys in there. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. This is a sneak peek. Um, these guys, they're gonna have to meet up with somebody, and it's gonna be someone from the Palladian star sector. They're gonna send someone coordinates mentally, and he's gonna what's the word? It's not astral travel. It's the other one when you write down the
Astral
coordinates.
project,
No, when you write down the
Uh,
coordinates and you know exactly where it is.
oh, you're
It's not.
like a
you're
download.
not talking about beaming up to a ship
No, what is it called? They used to do it in the 60s.
Like
Remote
remote
viewing.
viewing?
Yes,
for
that
remote viewing.
that they're gonna send a person that information, the coordinates. They're gonna get it mentally, and they're gonna know exactly where to go. And this place, I'm thinking about it being the Nazca Line area. It's gonna this book is
Hmm.
gonna knock y'all socks off.
Ooh, let's go
I can't
down the
wait to see
rabbit
it.
hole.
So, Mr. B, where's the best way to get your book? Is it through
Yeah, tell
Amazon?
people. Yeah,
Amazon,
let people
yeah,
know. How did they get your book?
Amazon. It's on
Amazon.
Amazon. It's on Amazon right now. We get that one going. I already got the second one like a quarter way through. It's just it been on hold because the first
Hmm.
one been moving slow. But
Yeah.
that book is things that's happening right now. Everything we talk about, that's in the book. I'm talking about it's amazing. I'm doing two more, and they're gonna be amazing. They're gonna knock your socks off. I
Wow.
promise.
So again, on Amazon, if they go to Amazon, what is the name of the book if they try to find it?
Love and light battles the forces of evil.
There you go, folks. Remember to write it down. And
If
we're
you
going to be in his next book,
I'm going to
Down
put
the
it
Rabbit
on
yeah,
my
Hole.
TikTok.
Yeah.
please, because it's on my page also.
Okay.
And
All right,
I
folks.
promise y'all are going to be in that next one. I promise. I
And with
can't
that
wait.
said, it is now 1:30 p.m. in the morning. The commander needs to go off planet. And I love everybody. We have 155 people in here. Don't forget this show when it's on. You can come on here and watch the show. Tell everybody else. There's 157 people. Spread the word to 10 or 15 other people when you know we're on, when the algorithm tells you we're on. Send it all over the place, man. We'd love to have a couple hundred people in here. It's all about people coming in here, being exposed to something new. The nice thing about us is I'm a professional broadcaster. Thank you for that. We're a talk show that deals with the spiritual aspects of UFOs, not just the nuts and bolts stuff. And, if you scan like I do, tons of TikToks when I'm not doing my live, I see, is there any other intelligent, really cool stuff that I can look at? Not always. There's a lot of stuff with people gaming each other. There are people arguing with each other. And when I got on TikTok, my goal was to be a creator of creating a place that is a UFO spiritual talk show where we can bring things together as a contactee. And we're doing that. And we're having some amazing conversations with all of you out there. So we
Oh,
certainly
there it
appreciate you
is.
being here. Any last minute words? The Love and Light Battles. Oh, interesting. That's a great cover.
That's the book.
Oh, that's the actual. Oh,
There's
wow.
the
That's the
book.
book. That's a great cover, though. Look at that. We're probably going to be on Mr. B's other book on the cover of that other book. Just imagine that. Does he need pictures from us, or I don't know? But that is a great book. That's the cover of the book, and it's on Amazon.
Yep.
You guys get
Love
it.
and
Mr.
light.
B said
Great.
exactly.
Love and light battles.
Let's
The
support each
forces
other.
Yep.
of
So cool.
evil. Now, the way
Yeah.
that Amazon has it, guys, look. So remember, love and light battles. The forces
The
of
forces
evil.
of evil. It's in Kindle too.
Ooh, they have
It's a
hardcover and paperback
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
Kindle.
have to get
paperback
a
and Kindle.
signed copy, Mr. B.
Grace wants a signed copy, Mr. B.
Yeah, let's get
Mr. B's
this
going to
man
become
some
big in the
sales.
author world of books. He
I
will be.
love
You know
it.
what, guys? Listen, even if you don't have read the book, see if you can go on there and let's get him some reviews and like
Yeah.
five star it for him if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Review his
can.
book on Amazon
Even
and
if
you
you
can review the
haven't,
book.
even if
Like
you haven't
TikTok
read
do
it,
you magic, right?
yeah, let's help his algorithm and anybody we can support. We definitely go out there and support them.
Oh, yeah. Of course we do. So speaking of which, I know
Good
we could
night.
do, I mean, we could do a 24-hour show, but that's not happening, folks.
Good night.
I know
Good
people would
night,
love me to stay on
everyone.
all
Love
night.
you.
Hey, Skip to Grace, James, everybody, Mr. B, everybody, the people that didn't get on tonight. Tomorrow night's another night on here, and we thank everybody for being here. Please check out my Ask Truck Man spaceship page. You'll see the video that I'm talking about from Phoenix. I'll be adding another video from England. I don't know if I added that yet. In the next few days, I'm going to be adding at least 3 or 4 new videos that are going to be really, really good. And that's going to show you where all these different things are happening now with contact. Thank you for all the gifts, everybody. Become a subscriber. We have 31 of 100 subscribers. Press the little, go back to the thing on the top screen, press the star. It'll pop up and it'll say subscribe. You'll be able to subscribe if you don't know how to do that. Subscribe for a month, for 2 months, 3 months. That particular part of it with the stars, when we raise enough money there, we're going to get some night vision equipment for our Ashtar Command Group. Grace is in Connecticut with us. She's part of our group. We have about 15, 20 people solid in our C5 group. So we thank you, everybody, for being here. Many blessings. We're going to sign off now and be well. Thank you so much for being here and taking the time to watch our show.